still a charge, so listen.
Man, they gonna see you work a miracle with all this.
Woo! Do you love your grades?
I do. That's why I haven't died.
Most of my clients be like, girl, I got
You
died.
gotta
I'm like, no.
embrace it.
I'm like, let it grow. I said, people are burning their hair out. I'm trying to get gray hair. Like, I must not know. What's up? What's your part?
Oh, I'm gonna let you be creative with that. What side do you think it look better on?
Normally, everybody wear their hair this way.
Okay.
So, I like you. Do you, girl? Mm-hmm. So my client has been married for 18 years.
All right now, hey.
How did y'all meet?
Actually, we met on the job.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, now we're talking about right here where you at.
Over
it
here?
Was good, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was working and I had applied and got the job and started training.
Uh-huh.
And at first I was training, so I wasn't looking and wasn't paying no attention to nobody. I'm trying to get coin,
Yeah.
And eventually, after being there for about 3 weeks, he kind of just approached me. Mm-hmm. But it was the way he approached me.
And how he approached you? Because nowadays,
because he wasn't like, hey, shorty, what's up, boo, 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 and all that. He just kind of gently just grabbed my hand and was like, how you doing? My name is. He didn't say out loud, but he was just like, he just kind of softly grabbed my hand just to get my attention, and I just kind of looking at him, and he was just like, my name is Richard, and he asked me what my name was. I told him, and then we just started talking about different things about the job that we both were working, and then after work we still kept on talking, but the kicker was he and I started having a conversation about God. And, it really just kind of turned into a spiritual conversation and kind of both where we were in life and how that compared to the relationship that we both have with Christ. So that was our immediate connection because he told me that he dated all kind of people, but he could never connect with anybody spiritually. So when he was able to just hold a conversation with me and us talk about God and it not be a weird thing, then he was like, we both were kind of like, there's something to this.
That's what I run into now. Like,
yeah.
It's like God's so far removed from everything, which it makes me feel like I'm trying to stay optimistic about it and hopeful, but I really feel like it's some unicorn type. We don't have to, for real, because it's all about sex. If you're not having sex with me, then it can't be nothing else.
Right.
And then, but it's like people not realizing that you keep doing the same thing over, expecting different results.
Right.
And I'm a person that learns from my mistakes.
Right.
Like the first time I make it is in my head embedded. Now I'm moving on and group. So it's like I find it hard for me. And I'm a deep believer in God. I'm real spiritual.
Right.
And I don't find men that are of that. They'll talk God, but it's like everybody else is just throw God up when they feel like it's convenient.
Yeah, I do agree with that. You got a lot of imposters out here. Folks that's over here claiming, they got all this deep relationship. But, when you pray and things like that, God will always quicken your spirit at some point to let you know in a discerning way whether or not this is real or not. And there's always going to be something inward that lets you know. Even if you are hopeful that this could be the one, you got to always follow those signs even when you don't want to. Because you'll end up getting into a relationship, even being forewarned, even knowing in your spirit that it's not really what it should be, but because you want to be with someone or because you want to be with this person in particular, then you'll make that decision to give time of your life to this person. And time can be 5 years. Time can be 10 years. Time can be 17 years and you have no marriage. Sometimes it could be 15, 17 years. You got kids and still no marriage, meaning not a covenant union before God, you know. And so, you know, for me personally, I was at a place where I was dating too, and it was just downright roguish. Like, I remember going on a date. This guy had asked me out on a date, okay? And he said, okay, let's go, meet at Papa Do's. Because, see, I'm kind of old school. I don't need you picking me up and doing it, because I don't know if you crazy or something wrong with you. And,
So it has been like, not to cut you off, it's been a meme going on where, I guess it was like a Twitter thread where a dude texted her and was like, I made plans, meet me here at this time, or not meet me here, but at this time, and he just set out the whole thing. He went on and planned it. Okay. Something that we always yelling, like, because dudes always, what you doing? Yeah, what you doing you today? Like, and they never, like, let me take you on a date. Let me set this up. And then, like, so she got a message that said that he was setting it up, and her homegirls was like, girl, don't do that. You don't know. He could be a psycho. I don't like how he just not considerate of your time. He just told you. But she was like asking him, like, she was like, what should I wear? Or whatever. But this was the responses that they were giving her. So is it right or is it wrong? I feel like to be logical and be safe, but to be like, oh, he ain't considerate of your time. I feel like it's him taking initiative to say, hey.
Absolutely.
And then it's in a public environment.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. So do you think that's wrong, or do you think...
I don't think it's wrong for a guy to plan. And at the end of the day, what, a lot of us women want is for guys to be more considerate, okay? And we want them to value our time just as much as they will want us to value theirs. So at the end of the day, if he is saying, okay, this is where I'd like to take you, this is the time, you can meet me here, and he's taking on all the stops. I personally don't find a problem with that, especially when it's in a public setting.
Yeah, it's safe.
Now if you're still uncomfortable about it, then you can always double date, meaning that you can bring, another friend couple or something like that you guys can have dinner with. It's somebody else that if you feel that it's not completely safe. But I mean, if he's not showing up at your doorstep and he ain't stalking you at your job, he's just he's simply just trying to take you out and make the plans to do so. I don't see any problem in that. Okay. The problem only becomes when the man becomes a little too pushy and too controlling, and usually you'll have indicators right away when it's like that. Because if you can't offer him any suggestions and all he's doing is just constantly telling you what it is, and it's more of a conversation with himself than it is with you guys together, then you should think about revisiting that.
Okay, so my next question is, I keep hearing that marriage is a business.
A business relationship?
And I guess when I hear business, I think about a business. And I'm like, where's the love? Where's the... Where's like the stuff that really makes up why you two souls are connected? So, do you think it's a business?
I don't think it's a business. Or
how is it a business? Because I really just feel like God and what marriage really is to be has been so far removed, and everybody putting all these definitions on it and all this extra stuff and then they wonder why divorce rates are what it is.
Right.
So for people like you that are married, that have been successfully married for 18 years, like, what exactly is it?
Well, marriage is not, first and foremost, I can tell you right now, marriage is not a business. Marriage is a partnership. Okay? Meaning that the both of you are going to have to give of yourselves in more than one way. Now, we're not talking about just a sexual thing and all of that. We're talking about sacrifices. We're talking about compromises. We're talking about patience, which that's what tends to break up a lot of relationships, because there's no patience. Now, it goes back to what I said earlier. I can love you and I can be in love with you, but do I like you?
Yes.
Do I like you enough to deal with you on a daily basis? Do I like you enough to be your friend and to sit down and be considerate of what's going on with your well-being? Do I like you enough to take the time to go out of my way to do things special for you, that I know that would make you happy. Not because I have to, but because I love you enough and like you enough to do it. Okay? So marriage is not a business. Marriage is a unified thing. You're a unit. Okay? So you grow together. Now, the issue with growing together is both of you are two flawed people coming together as one, right? So because you're two flawed people coming together as one, then there's going to be a lot of patience and compromises and sacrifices on both ends in order to make that work. Okay? So if you look at it as a business, that means that I don't I don't love you and I'm not in love with you, but I can learn to love you.
Arranged.
That's an arranged type of situation. And people keep saying, oh, marriage is work. Marriage is only work if it's only work if it's with somebody you're not supposed to be with.
Woo, you better preach. I ain't heard that one. And that makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Now,
that makes a ton of sense.
I'm going to repeat that again.
One more for the people in the back.
Marriage is only work if it's with somebody you're not supposed to be with. Okay? I get tired of hearing people say, oh, marriage is work and marriage is this and marriage is that. But at the end of the day, your marriage is only going to be the definition of what you two bring together to make that happen and work. It's not dictated by somebody else what your marriage is supposed to be.
I'm going to let you tap in on the comments.
Okay. So, the idea that, and this is another thing that I've seen too. A lot of people are scared to give of themselves because they're afraid of being hurt. They're afraid of being used. They're afraid of being taken advantage of, because
I will admit that was my problem when I first, after I went through what I went through with my child's father or whatever, I completely lost myself.
Right.
And then I didn't heal. I didn't know I wasn't healing at the time. I thought I was. I just threw myself into work.
Right.
And, it got me successful.
Right.
But I didn't heal. So by the time I got into my next relationship, it was a lot of stuff going on in my personal life anyway. And then I threw a man in the situation. So I really wasn't checked all the way in. I think I just lost my train of thought because there's so much I'm trying to get to. But, Lord, I just lost my train of thought. What was we talking about? Because I was trying to make a point.
Well, we were just talking about how, you can sit up there and you're afraid to to make the steps forward in the relationship.
With the last relationship, I was scared of getting hurt, so much so that I wasn't even present in the relationship because I'm too focused on not experiencing being hurt, getting my feelings hurt, or somebody taking advantage of me to where it ultimately ended that way.
Right.
And I found myself going back through the grieving motions, sad and all this stuff like that. Then it's now on this journey I had to really sit and heal me, my flaws, and the things that my red flags that I could probably be presenting to somebody. I had to work on that. So now, and it was just getting whole with myself, that knowing if I'm giving my all, that's all I can do.
That's right.
And no, if it doesn't go that way, it's not my fault.
Right.
Or it's just it just wasn't supposed to be. Instead of feeling empty and feeling scared, because I don't like to feel scared. I don't like to live in fear. I'm only gonna live in fear for so long before I just be like, yes, I'm gonna jump anyway. But yeah, but then. Can I get on live? Can I see the comments on my other phone? Oh, they got so many questions I'm missing everything. I'm going to scoot it closer to you so you can tap in and see what they're talking about. I think when you're first looking for someone, your mind should be looking for a handsome, not a husband, not someone to be your boyfriend or to play house with. A husband. Okay. I'm 45. I love being single. Son is grown, at the house, relaxing, and why is
So
it?
she not compromising nothing.
Just swipe up.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You put your finger on there to stop
Okay.
it.
So get in a relationship unless you're happy now. When you're scared, you do scared and take a chance to mess up plus your relationship. That's true too.
What she say?
She said basically when you're scared and you're scared to take a chance, you mess up the relationship a
You
whole
do,
lot
and that's
faster.
exactly what I did.
You know.
It got
So
sabotaged
yeah.
quick. I think I should not get in a relationship unless you're happy now. Because when you do, the person is a game. Yes, I totally agree.
But you know, you gotta work on you first because what I'm seeing is a lot of broken people getting
Getting
into
with broken people.
relationships too quickly, too fast with other broken people. And so it's not that the best versions of the both of you can't be, but if you're both broken and haven't gotten to that healing place that you
Mm-hmm.
were talking about, it can make it extremely difficult. So
When I talk about that, people think it's like foreign. Like, go heal. Like I just don't see the benefit of entering into what state are you in again? I'm in Texas. Of you entering it, like, I don't know. They
right.
say you are what you attract. So I done did all this healing and this self work. And why I ain't attracted another healing person? But then also there's that when you do have a healing spirit, you attract broken people. So it's like,
Yeah.
if this is my job on earth, like what's the payout of it? Or how do you pick and choose who you decide? I just feel like you need I guess for me, if you have an open mind and you're willing to grow, then I don't have no problem. We can rock out.
But you'll know because it's a feeling. You'll know. And someone asked me, they said, "Can you be in love with more than one person?" The answer is yes.
Really?
Yes. Because at the end of the day, it is your spirit that draws them to you. And it's something about their spirit that draws you to them. Now, when I'm saying you can be in love with one person, I'm not talking about, you got 3 or 4 men on the side and then you in love with all of them. That's not what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about at different seasons of your life, if you find yourself where you're not in a relationship that you were previously in before and you end up being in a relationship with someone else, it is possible for you to fall in love with someone else other than, And so I have to clarify because folks be like, she sit up here saying you can be in love.
What they say. Hold it for me. Put your finger right there.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out why you can't heal together, especially if that's the one for you. A lot of people I know been married for years. It took healing processes together most of the time for that bond.
This is true. Okay. Now, I've been married for a long time, and yes, there's no perfect relationship, and you do go through your ups and downs. But like I stated before, if you're really supposed to be with that person, it won't feel like work. It'll feel like I love you enough to figure this out with you. I love you enough to be patient in the situation and listen to you. I love you enough to care about your feelings. So because I love you and I care about your feelings, I'm willing to change the things about myself that I hadn't changed before because I love you. And so when you with somebody that's really down for you, then it's not a matter of, oh, I got to do all this for them, and oh, I got to do that, and oh, why I got to be, and a lot of people, why I got to be the one to always be doing all this, and they don't do all of this and all of this. It gets one-sided, but if the person genuinely loves you, they will not just tell you that they're going to change, they will show you that change. Okay? It's not just about, because anybody can tell you they love you. And everybody can tell you, well, I'm in love with you. But their actions is what speaks the most. So you love me, so I'm going to watch and witness these changes that you say you're going to make. and you know you have a real one, and you know the type of love that they have for you when they go above and beyond to try to make you happy by making those changes, whatever that is. If you don't want them smoking no more, or whatever, if that's what they do, and you don't like them smoking, if you don't like them drinking,
because of their
if
health
you
and all
know,
this stuff. You
if you don't
genuinely want the
want
best
them,
for
you
them.
don't want them hanging out with the, they homeboys that are bad influences and all of that, and going out all the time, coming in late, whatever the situation is, then they'll make those changes out of love for you.
I like her question too. So, who is healing? Who is the healing for? Is it for yourself or for the environment you want to be in?
It's both.
Both.
It's both.
It's both. This, that's one sided, not healing together. That's a difference. If you have, where we go, somebody who's willing to do it with you and watch each other progress, why not? Yeah. Right. I have been married since 19. I'm 31. It works. But we are both willing, so we call
That
the
growing
grooming.
pains, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Who is this next one? You look beautiful today. Aw. Both of us, or this man will get back to us. But yeah, I agree with that. Like, cause I done seen relationships like the relationships that are in my life that I have to look and watch. I've seen where one person is growing and the other one isn't,
Right.
and it's just ugly.
Right.
It's just ugly. So they're not together anymore
Right.
because of that fact.
Right.
And I don't know. I like you said. I feel like if both of y'all are willing to be open minded,
Right.
considerate, and willing to work, because you can't really. I've learned that you can't tell somebody what their experience of you is.
Right. For perfect, not perfections of growing pains.
Everybody looking for perfection, not imperfection. Thank you for the relationship real. I think I want to start doing this, you guys. Like, letting y'all, because me and my clients have some bomb conversations. I'm like, people need to hear this.
Yeah, it's just a toxicity. Let's see. Nothing but growing pain.
If you feel that you're in a toxic relationship, that you have to leave before it
On Jerry and Maury. Because toxicity is nothing but growing pains.
ends. Is it?
If you're in a toxic relationship, at the end of the day, that thing ain't gonna change. What you see is what you get. Okay.
That's like another deeper healing that needs to take.
Uh,
I guess depending on what your toxic definition is.
yeah,
You
but
can't make nothing work with somebody who gonna get constantly keep beating you.
well, the thing is,
Or
you can't make nothing work with somebody that don't want to make it work. You can't.
period.
Here's the thing. You
Period.
can't make nobody love you. You can't make nobody fall in love with you. That has to be a natural thing. Okay. So if you're in a relationship with somebody that you know is not really giving you the type of love and respect that you personally desire, okay, it's not that they can't love and respect you the way that you want to be loved and the way you want to be treated. But if they're making the choice not to treat you the way that you want to be treated, if they're making the choice not to love you the right way, the way you want to be loved, then you really got to sit back and reevaluate whether or not this is going to be a healthy person for you moving forward. It can't be just about your love for them. For a relationship to work, it's got to be love both ways.
Oh yeah. How you gonna know? It's like, how are you gonna know if the person you haven't seen them at their worst? You'll never appreciate their best. I was just thinking you need a podcast called Salon Talk or Salon Conversation. Yes. I'm gonna see if I can get that set up, because toxic to me is bringing you down, putting you down, and judgment. A person is going to love you no matter your flaws. If you're missing a tooth, He loving all 31.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So, what advice on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
looking in on us? Cause you inside with your man, honey. So, looking out at us, what advice can you give these my generation, just us out here, period, the girls that are single who do desire to be married?
Right.
What advice, like, what do you see that we are doing wrong, and what advice can you give? Because I keep hearing talk about how they now it's like the modern and the traditional woman.
Okay.
So, do you see a difference? I mean, it is a difference, but for me, I just feel like it's 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has evolved.
Right.
Women have evolved. We've come a long way, and but I'm not a person where I just feel like I'm right all the time. Like, I do know there is an importance to listening, especially when you want to date the opposite sex. I think it's important for you to learn them, just like it's important for them to learn us. So it's like, what do you see that us women out here are doing that's going to prevent us from getting married if we don't stop doing?
What I see is too much antsiness. Okay, meaning that you're too eager. Sometimes when you want something so badly, and you yearn to have someone, you yearn to have that companionship, you tend to rush into things and make a lot of mistakes in doing so. Okay, so the first thing I can tell you is just to wait on God. Now, remember what I said earlier.
Cause God, can we get a tracking number?
Okay, because what I said is that when God positions you to meet whoever he has placed for you, it will be in the most unexpected way. Okay? Meaning that it'll probably be very unconventional. It won't be in the way that you think it's going to be. Okay? Not only that, women out here need to stop trying to make their own plan and initiate things. If you're too busy trying to plan and initiate things about who you'd like to be with, that leaves no room for God to make that transition for you. So you have to step out of the way. And I'm not saying it's the easiest thing to do, to be patient and to trust God. What I am saying is that when you do so, and when God feels that you're ready. See, the thing is that you got to get yourself to a certain point.
Okay, hold on, pause. Because that's where my head has been going back and forth. I know better, because I do know I got to wait on him.
Right.
But it just seemed like it's been a long time coming. So, and I know it's like, I feel like I'm really, really healed. But it's like, obviously, if my man ain't came yet, I still got some kind of work to do, because
not necessarily.
He ain't dropped them on me yet.
Not necessarily. And the reason being why I say no is because it's not just you being worked on.
Him too.
So, you can be ready, but who God has for you may not be exactly ready yet. This is why this timing is such an important thing. Because you can be ready and God's like, I need a little bit more time with him. Okay. So give me a little bit more time. I need you to wait and be a little bit more patient. Yeah. Let me get him to the point I need him to be at. And then I can orchestrate that union between you two.
Because it be feeling like forever, ever.
Sometimes it's not always you. You are there to work on yourself and build. And
now I'm getting these, because I am ready to date. It's like I'm getting these unhealed, and it's like, ugh, like I just don't want to deal. But then I find, because I know I'm more of a logical person than I am that I operate in my emotions. So it's like now I done got to a point to where I can like be like, nah, your red flags, this is that and third. But I'll still, some part of me be wanting that nurturing, not the nurturing, but that loving. And I keep telling myself, just be still. He coming. Just gotta keep on just chilling until he come. And drop your man on you.
Yes, you do have to love yourself. Yes, everyone goes through different situations, and so there's no particular advice or experience that you can give to every situation that's going to work for you per se. But me personally, I just know from what I've experienced that you got to learn to get out of your own way. Because if you're the one always picking and choosing, how God going to choose for you?
Is that what Sierra did?
How's God gonna choose for you if you always in the way picking and choosing, and then you get mad at God, or you get mad because the relationship don't work, or He wasn't what you thought it was, and all this other extra stuff. But God didn't tell you to choose Him. God didn't lead you into
I guess
that
that's
direction.
where really your faith come in at.
Right.
And how deep you really believe.
Right.
What you say you believe.
Right.
Because if you don't, which is most people out here, like I said, they'll just throw God up, but they really ain't deep believers. They ain't went through their own experiences to say, this is why I believe in God. You only believe because your parents told you this is what you're supposed to believe in. So I guess it goes with how deep is your faith, and how much do you believe that you're deserving of this and that He will give it to you.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just like you said, otherwise we'd be out here trying to make it work ourselves.
That's right.
When it don't work, we like, well, what the hell going on?
That's right. What happened? And then a lot of everybody want to blame God and be mad at God, but how you gonna blame God and be mad at God off a decision that you made? Okay. At some point, you got to learn to take accountability in the reason for your relationship not working. It can't be just if it's the other person all the time. You didn't have several relationships, several marriages, and ain't none of it worked. At some point, you gotta reflect and think that
some might be
the common denominator is if all these relationships don't work, it can't always be the other person all the time. So maybe it's just you. And maybe you need to take a little time out.
And that's okay. Like people, I think we don't talk enough about that. Because people hate hearing anything. We hate hearing anything bad about ourselves. But we'll holler, oh, I'm flawed. I'm not perfect. But when people say that, I was like, what's not perfect about you?
Right.
If you cannot point out what's not perfect about you, then you really feel like you're not the problem in any relationship. And it's okay to say, I need to work on these things.
Right.
Who's going to know? This is you talking in your head, and you're making a conscious decision on your own to do these things in your own space. You're not going to self-destruct.
Right.
Your head is not going to explode. Nobody else has to know that you're going on this personal journey for yourself. And that's what men and women, when I do talk to people about it, it's like we get caught up and want to be perfect. We don't want to be looked at as a bad person or a problem, but sometimes it's okay to self-evaluate.
Amen to that. Yes, indeed.
I found out so much stuff about myself.
Oh, yeah.
When I just stopped and went on my little journey, my family trauma, just all of that stuff. Like when you really it gets ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
You want me to be great. But yeah, being patient is tough, Lord.
It is tough.
But in the meantime, I just feel like be happy. Go create memories. Go it's plenty of things to do to occupy your time.
Well, let me tell you something.
Healing and stuff while you on your way.
That's right. But let me tell you something. God would never bless you with someone that you wouldn't enjoy. And know that when the time comes for Him to bring someone into your life, that's the allotted time that He chose. That means the both of you are ready to receive each other. See, a lot of folks have a problem with receiving. Some of y'all will get into a relationship, and because the man is so good to you or the woman is so good to you that, you mess the whole relationship up because you can't believe that this person actually love you as much as they do.
That's no problem.
You sabotage the whole relationship because you don't believe what they're showing you. You don't believe what they're telling you. And that when they say
a direct hit of how you feel about yourself.
Right.
Direct how you feel about yourself. You feel like you don't deserve it.
Right.
So you gonna be like, nah, and then because you, like you said, because you are so used to. That was definitely my case. That was one of the things that I learned and I discovered on my little journey. Like, I didn't believe a lot of stuff about myself. I didn't believe I was deserving. I didn't believe I was a. So when I did, even though I mean I feel like he still tried to play me a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
I seen little things like that disturbed me. Like
Right.
how would I even identify a good man because I'm so dang on broken over here. I don't know if he telling me the truth or not because I don't trust myself to make the right judgment. I don't like it was just and they'll just let me know I need to go somewhere and sit down and figure out me. Trust my intuition more. Trust like and that comes with healing.
Mm-hmm. And you got to take time out because there's too many folks. You not even over the last
Less,
marriage and
yeah.
relationship, and you already,
On to the
into
next
the
one.
next one. And I've seen plenty of people getting divorced, and they're divorced. The ink ain't even dry, or they're in the middle of a divorce, and they already engaged to somebody else. Already got something else going on.
Portia,
You know.
Simon.
So it's yeah, but you gotta lay some groundwork first. You get in a relationship for 2 years. I got cheated and abused mentally and emotionally. Had a baby on me here and there, instead in the second hand. I had a relationship like that. It was good to him. It turned out toxic with him cheating and I had to let it go. Yes, Portia. Yeah. Yeah. When you realize a relationship is not good for you, yes, you need to let that go. You know, especially we always talk about the physical abuse, somebody hitting you
Hmm.
upside the
We
head
don't
and
never
all of
talk
that,
about the emotional,
but you don't talk about the emotional and
mental.
the mental aspects, even the spiritual aspects of how damaging that can be by being with someone that's not for you.
But then this be that question too, that hard question.
Hmm.
What made me stay? What made
Because
me look over red flags? What made me? That's where, cause
love,
people, I don't even think it's love.
it's
Well,
love.
like a lack of love for yourself.
It's love to a certain degree, but more or less, it's a lot of people, men and women alike,
Hmm.
have this fear of being alone, so they'll just accept
Okay,
anything.
I got you.
Okay, and they'll just stay in something for the sake of saying that they have somebody, even though it's not a healthy situation for
Hmm.
them.
But I feel like those are the questions that we need to ask ourselves when we let stuff linger on too long.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we feel like we was great to this person,
Mm-hmm.
why are we allowing them to continue to do this? And I think a lot with women, we get locked in on potential.
That
And
is
we get
true.
locked in on that person that they showed us initially, that
Right.
representative.
Right.
We get locked in on that. And then you got a lot of women who do have their healing spirit, where it's
Right.
like you do have the ability to see that, like that brokenness in a person, or where whatever age they was traumatized at. Let's just say you got a man and mentally he's stuck at age 15.
Mm-hmm.
You see that 15-year-old boy, and the nurturer in you wants to heal it,
Right.
wants to love it, wants to, but the person that they have built up to block that little 15-year-old
Right.
person, you're fighting with that person all the time.
Right.
And we get locked in on that, and it keeps us where we don't need to be. And sometimes it's just we got to make them tough decisions, even if you want
Mm-hmm.
to love on them so much and you know you got the power to love. It's just
Right.
like I gotta let it go
That's
because
right.
they have to heal for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You can love them through their healing, but then you're gonna have a bunch of John Gray situations out here with the
Right.
pastor, like where you
Mm-hmm.
done grew this man up, or you done loved him to and grew him up, but is he gonna reciprocate that? Because you haven't even got to heal through your traumas and really grow up. And 9 times out of 10, when it do, sometimes the cases that I done seen, just paying
Mm-hmm.
attention to the world, when a woman do love a man up to a point where he gets to like growing up into a man, he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
allot her the time to heal. He doesn't give her the same time and the same
Mm-hmm.
understanding and the same encouragement or the same push. It's I'm on to the next woman now because
Right.
you ain't you now you ain't the one that ain't changed. You the one
Right.
that so it's just like it be this imbalance.
It's
So it's like you
always
really
been
gotta
imbalanced.
pick and choose. Like you said, I guess
Mm-hmm.
you have to be with who you're supposed to be with
That's
in
right.
order for y'all to grow together and it be reciprocated and respected.
Oh yeah. And yeah, there's because the baby mother, yeah. In relationships, you gotta, what are you bringing to the table? Okay. you got to ask the question, because when we ask the question, what are you bringing to the table? It's always, well, I got this job, or I got this money, or I'm bringing my body, or my sex is this, and all of that. But it's also deeper things. You know, what happened to you in your childhood that now I need to be aware of, that emotionally it might affect me because emotionally it's affecting you. You know, what happened in your upbringing? What traumas have you experienced in your life that,
Come
you know,
on
because a
here.
lot of people don't
I'm
want
gonna follow you
to,
over
they
here
don't
right
want to,
second.
they don't want to talk about it.
No.
They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about
I
it.
get it. Phone. And that's me. I really be want to
Yeah, you
like
want to know.
talk
It's not that
about.
you're trying to drudge up bad memories or things, but they're important for you to know, so you know exactly what you're getting into and how much patience you're willing to have with them as they're trying to figure it all out.
And that's my thing. Like, do I stay here and have a little patience with you, or do I be? I guess I gauge it on if you too far gone and you ain't even trying
Right.
to heal. Like, I'm gonna stop fighting you at some point in time. Like,
Right.
I'm just not gonna continue. Uh, I respect you for that. I do not think I could have stayed for that, baby. The past is the past. Leave it there. I'm bringing my fork. Let's go back up. For the first 2 years, I got cheated on, abused mentally, physically, and I had a baby. And here I am, still here 2.5 years later. Seriously crazy. Amen. I had a relationship like that. I was good to him, and it turned toxic with him cheating, and I had to let it go. Yes, Portia. It read, girl, I'm very sorry, but God bless you. I'm happy that you left him. But you answered my question where you said you can love someone but not like. But we have changed a little and trying, but after all I've been through, I don't like him anymore, but I love him. What or why did you stay in a relationship? Because of the baby, because her mother was unfit. Ooh, because I've seen a lot of situations like that.
What's that?
Where you get attached to the baby and it kind of leaves you, not your own child.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of keeps you in that.
In there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ask God to give me strength. Woo! That is.
Well, all right.
Who was that? Was Felicia that said she was still there? So Felicia, you still here because of that baby? How you deal with that? Because it's like, do you just be like, well, I mean, that's your daddy. I got to do this for me.
Wow.
Because I can't continue in this
That's a
for the
tough
sake
situation.
of this child. Like, that's, ooh.
Wow.
When your heart just that big of gold. Like, because it's like that child didn't ask for none of that. And then you took this child on as your own, and you.
But you know, like I said,
Let me get that. Let me snatch your child.
My husband was married before me. This is his second marriage, and he has 2 other kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to go through the whole blended family type of situation too. And it was always a situation, not on my end, but just he had an ex-wife he had a daughter with, and then he had a son with her, and then we have a baby mama. So it was always a matter of them feeling some kind of way because I was the wife. It had nothing to do about me caring for their kids.
Yeah.
I did for their kids like I do for the kids that he and I share together.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just all about, oh, well, he's married. That means he done moved on and he ain't worried about me, so I'm feeling some kind of way about that. So I'm going to make it difficult. And so I'm going to...
What is that about? Like,
I'm not going to bring the kids around, or I'm going to say we're going to be here and meet there, and then don't show. You know, just being difficult for the sake of being difficult. The thing is that you're hurting the kids in the process. And what they're seeing is what they're looking at. So you're trying to make them feel a certain kind of way about their dad or his dad's wife, but what they're seeing is your behavior. And then the kids grow up resenting you as their mother because you tried to create the vision in that relationship with their father and whoever he's connected to. It's dysfunctional.
So it's been a conversation too about how men don't want single mothers.
That's not true.
Single black mother. We know it ain't.
That ain't true at all.
But in this group that I'm in.
What's this group that you in?
It's called. Because I like looking at different point of views and reading people different. And it's just like, they keep on talking about, they done went so far as to blame us for having these kids. Even after they said they didn't want a kid.
What?
It's totally up to us because we're the ones that can bring forth life.
Okay, this is what I will say.
So I'm like, we didn't both decide to lay down.
Right.
And even if it was an accident or you decided that you didn't want no kids, and we did, it accidentally happened, and I decided, like, because you don't know me.
Right.
Because that's the problem. We ain't having sex for sport. Because you don't know me, you probably don't even know that my belief is I don't believe in abortion.
Right.
So you can give me the money.
Right.
You can do whatever you said you want to do because you didn't want to be a father. And because my belief is what I believe, I'm going to go have this child. But they feel like because you went forward and had the child, then you need to take care of it by yourself if I don't want to be a father. If I told you I didn't want to be a father.
That is the most ignorant thing I've ever heard before in my whole life. But at the end of the day, you both made a choice. Now live
at the end of the day.
So deal with your decision. If you're man enough to lay down, be man enough to deal with your responsibility.
Regardless. If you tell her you didn't want it, you gave her the money, she ain't gonna do it, and the baby still came. Like, why? It's still a part of you. The child didn't ask to be here. 1 + 1 gonna forever equals 2. Forever. You know what comes out of it, even if we was heavily protected.
Yeah.
You know what sex equals. It could possibly, like, you know a child is gonna come because we're not supposed to be doing it for sport, I'm sure. But here we are today, having sex for sport. So you don't get to make up the excuse of, oh, well, she went on with it. I ain't got to be there for her.
And that's a shame, too.
They really feel, I was just reading a bunch of men because it's like more men in this group. So I was questioning whether the group is about just having different topics and seeing how we can move forward as a black community in relationships with black love. But these mindsets, like, it's just it.
But sometimes I feel like there are outside stigmas and stereotypes that are placed on us automatically, and that makes us feel a certain kind of way about ourselves.
Yeah.
So we question everything. We question our values. We question our fatherhood. We question the sisterhood. We question our community. We question our family. We question ourselves. You know, and we do all of this questioning. But then we start poking. But what we're not doing is we're not poking at anybody that's creating the stigma on the outside. We're poking at each other on the inside.
And we can't move forward if we just gonna keep finger pointing.
Yep.
But you and you ain't. But men, but women, like it's. And I can't stand those conversations because like I'm gonna take accountability for me. I'm gonna call it what it is. Cause. For what? What I'm gonna argue another point for? Just to be right? I don't care about being right.
Okay, so
I care about understanding.
So let's take it to the next step. What about interracial relationships? How you feel about that?
Oh, me and my best friend talk about this all the time. So I haven't made an official conclusion on it. I don't have a problem with it, but I have a problem with it.
Okay.
And it's like, for black women, because of how I feel. Just my little isolated. I'm still expanding my mind, and that's why I say officially.
Right.
But I just feel like as far as love go, my love isn't respected. My femininity isn't respected. And from what I see, I've drew a comparison that white men are just like black women. And black men are like white women. Like, it's like
just their personality and how they go about doing
the whole
things.
dynamic.
Right.
Even in their culture, how they're treated and how we are treated. We aren't spoiled by our men. They expect us to be everything for them, but we don't get that in return.
Right.
And that's the same on that side.
So how do you feel about black men who are with white women or other races?
It's hard to judge, but I feel like most of them are only with them because they hate their mamas. And it's created this whole, and we remind them of their mothers.
That goes back to self-love and knowing who you are. So
I don't want to just put it on all, but mostly when I hear when a man is asked why, it's always resulting to a black woman.
So why do you think that so many black men have a problem with black women being with white men or other races? Because they'll date, they'll date and out and date whoever they want, but when they see a black woman who is not with,
because they don't value us, they don't. We're not allowed to be happy. Is what I kind of ultimately feel. We're not allowed to be happy, and anybody who likes us is just a fetish.
You know, it really turns out that if you base your whole relationship based on him making you happy, it's not going to work. Because you got to be able to do things for you. You got to find a center place of happiness for you.
Yeah.
And when you're happy, you can also make him happy. And he can make you happy.
Because y'all both pour into each other's cups, and nobody's cup is empty. It's just overflowing. But yeah, that's where I'm about at with it. I'm still doing research
now,
but
because a lot of black women are used to culturally being with black men, and a lot of that goes back to how we were raised and culturally brought up, that we are to stay with our own for the most part.
Undying loyalty to black men. Like, can't even really fathom going outside. We'll think about it, but for me, I feel like I can't be protected by nobody but the black man. But it's like, you don't want me though.
But why
I think because condition. That's what I know.
Yeah.
That's all I know. And then because how I look at them, I think they're freaking beautiful.
Right.
I think they are grander than life. Like, I really do. Like, it's like art. I don't know. I look at them differently. Like, you are that man walking this earth. Like,
so if another man that wasn't black approached you, and he approached you in the way that you want to be approached, you're dating.
Oh, right now I'm in that space.
Yeah.
If God see, I want to be loved. I want to experience what I'm giving.
Right.
Back. So I want it to be reciprocated.
Right. So you're open to that.
Oh, definitely. I am open now.
Okay.
I am.
Because the people need to know that, you're open to that.
True love and protection come from outside of your right. Yeah. Like, I'm open to it. At first I wasn't, but I know I kept feeling this uncomfortableness and this unsettling feeling of like, why do I keep trying? And it's like, why am I even at that conclusion with this man that looks like me?
Now, have you experienced being with and dating another guy outside of your race, and then feeling like more black men started to approach only because they've seen you with someone else?
I haven't.
It happens.
I'm sure.
Sure. It happens.
I haven't. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. With no daughters. I was married to stepdaughters. And when I left my boys, I told my ex-husband that he will reap what he sowed. His daughters ran away and told him that he was the cause of their I don't think men understand like the outcomes of their decisions.
Right. They don't understand until late.
Late. And then it's like it's too late. I'm a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
Like I just lost my daddy.
Oh.
In
Condolences.
November. Every time I see a man with a daughter, it's like I try to tell them like create that bond. Right. Even my child's father, he has a little girl. I would tell him like the day of my daddy's viewing, I text him. I was like, "Go get your daughter and just take her out there.
Right.
Just create a day for her."
Right.
And he blew my phone up. Why you say that? Why does it have to be something scary or something nervous? Like, just go get your child because I know because something had happened and me and her mom bumped heads, but we now at a point where we can talk. We don't do it a lot.
Right.
Just
but
when
you're cordial.
It's pushed.
Right.
We can talk or whatever. And she mentioned that she's starting to view him differently. And that is, I'm like, because you're too busy chasing something else. And it's like you about to miss out on the whole, or even with my child, like he ain't on child support. I have an open door policy.
Right.
You can go to the school and get your child if you need. You want all his paperwork.
Right.
Does he do it? No. Do you know his teachers? No. Like I'm not pressing none of that.
Right.
Because that's on you. They ain't got nothing to do with me no more. Like my baby on my end, he great.
Right.
But I'm not going to push anything because I need him to see for himself.
Right.
Who's there, who isn't. That's going to be on you. It's not for me to push you and make you be something that you don't want to be.
Right.
But you are going to have to answer. And what I learned from my daddy being there for me, I'm the type, if you take care of me, like my grandma and my daddy, like they made sure I was good. So now I'm at an age now and they older. It was my turn to take care of them. Like I'm just set up, wired that way.
Right.
And my daddy was divorced. And it's just like the end of his life, I'm starting to see like where these men are going wrong at. If he hadn't been the daddy he was to me, who knew? Like I could have had the choice to be like, if he wasn't the daddy to me, I could have been like, I could have still had a heart and been like, I'm gonna be here for you even though you weren't here for me. But how many people really are wired that way? So you wasn't here for me. Right. You done messed up all these women.
Right.
Who would be there to take care of you?
That's right.
So it's like we're gonna have to balance this out somewhere because
you did have a good father and you were so close to your dad, it sets the bar and expectation for whoever you desire to be with.
Which is a huge part of why I am single. I get asked all the time, why you so single? I've been celibate for 5 years.
Yeah.
Y'all know my business. I've been celibate for 5 years. Like I haven't been dating, mainly because I needed to heal a lot of traumas. Even though I was close to my daddy, it was still some I needed to figure out with him or whatever, with my mama. It was just like a lot of stuff that I needed to sit and sort through. But he has really set a bar as far as, I think men don't understand what women mean when they say they want, what we mean by protection.
Right.
I don't think they understand that.
Protect my heart, protect my feelings, protect my mind.
I don't think they understand. I think when they hear protection is, I got a gun, if they come out, I'm going to shoot. Like, no, like, that's not what, I mean, that's part of it, but that's not ultimately what we mean by protection.
Right.
My daddy protected me in that sense. And then I don't think women understand how they can protect a man. Because men believe that they like this, they are the gatekeepers of the protection. Like no, we can protect you too.
That's right.
So it's if you're paying attention to it and if you're allowing me to protect you in that way. I have an intuition for a reason.
Right.
It can be a covering, or
Right.
it can be something I use against you to keep you away from me.
Right.
So it's like my daddy protected me in a sense to where like I knew like I could just walk through this world feeling safe.
Right.
Because I knew my protector
Right.
was back there. I could talk to my daddy about anything, no judgment. Like, I'm talking about everything. We probably had conversations a father and daughter shouldn't even be having. But we do. He would come to me for advice because I got this wisdom. I think I'm an ancestor.
You were here before, huh?
I think so, because I'll be shocked with some of the stuff that it just pops in my head and makes sense. So it scares me sometimes. And he picked up on, he was like, where you get all this wisdom from? I was like, I don't know. It's just, I'm blessed to have it, but so he would call me about different things and we would talk. It was just that. I was blessed to have him as my father.
Yeah.
So it just made everything clear when I had my baby of why you should find somebody that you really connect with. I feel like after I had my son, everything became clear of why I needed to do it in these steps that they say it's supposed to go in.
Right.
It just made it so clear. I had a child with somebody who knew absolutely nothing about me. Even though we was together for this amount of time. You knew nothing of me, and I laid down, risked my life to bring forth life for this individual who knows nothing about me. And I said I wasn't doing it again.
Right.
As you have some more kids, no. I want it done. Unless God, if God should, it got to be totally on him. Because if it's left up to me, I'm gonna take every precaution not to, and it's just that. So I don't know, but it's just like everything is becoming clear of why the whole meaning of marry. Why your daddy should give you away at your wedding, and why they tell men to find women like their mothers, but in the right way, not in this way out here, So everything's just becoming clear.
But but you gotta watch men and watch how they treat their mothers, because if they don't have a relationship,
no, I said in the right way.
It'll get interesting.
Real interesting.
So
And that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. But
they'll treat you just like they treat their mama, and not in a good way.
And my daddy always told me, he said, watch how a man treats his mother and his sisters if he has some, or the women in his life. Watch how he treat them, and that's how he gonna treat you.
Now, you gotta ask the people how you deal with the mothers and mother-in-laws, and how that plays into your relationship.
It could be ugly. Like,
because when you marry somebody, you're not marrying their family. You're marrying who you choose to marry.
Exactly.
But for some odd reason, family has a tendency to always want to come in and have a say-so and dictation of what happens in your relationship.
I agree. I totally agree.
So when you decide to get married, you got to learn how to separate yourself and not telling all your business because you're mad at him, and then you talking to your mama, you talking to your sister, you talking to
whoever. They gonna forever hate him.
You know?
Why you done
because you
start loving him again? They ain't gonna like him. We don't like him because he do this and you ain't seeing and you done forgave and moved on. They not laying down with him.
That's right.
They not. I don't know. And I think that's important too when you are married, even though we say it's not about them, like you still marrying into that situation. So it's like I pay attention to the dynamics between each other.
What do you think about mama's boys though?
I can't get with a mama boy. I can't fight her.
He didn't love his mama, and you know.
It's what type of mama's boy are you? What type of mama's boy are you? Oh, we missing all the conversation. Hold on, they having a conversation with each other in the chat. Wait, y'all leaving us? Girl, I gotta scroll all the way up. Where my other phone at so I can just chime in? There's some good conversation going on in the chat. My sister had a biological baby with her husband in 2008 when I was 8 years old, and she had a stepdaughter, my niece. Nieces are so beautiful. I do not think there is nothing wrong with interracial relationships because if that person is for you, they will be for you. God knows who you're supposed to be with.
That's true.
I agree.
I agree.
Sometimes true love and protection come from outside of your race. It read, amen to that, sister. I love my biological daughter on my dad's side. My dad is a wonderful black man to me. Crap. But if someone messes with him, I'm going to give them. Okay. Why is it saying message deleted by me? I ain't deleted no messages. I guess they filtering this thing. So I don't know what's being said. Oh, Felicia said now he wants to get married and she doesn't. So are you leaving? Because we do get to that point.
Well,
like,
you
it's
get to
like,
that point, but is he wanting to marry her out of fear? Because that's what men tend to do.
Yeah, because he knows she a good woman.
And he don't want to lose
her,
but
he don't want nobody else to have her.
Right.
I feel you on that. I would give folks the business behind my dad as well. I am glad you took care of that baby because she did not ask to be here. Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't marry him neither. There is someone for you. When you're ready to leave, you will never look back at all. Who is Jessica Jones? And they keep deleting all your stuff. Jessica Jones was timed out by a diary. No, what is going on? I don't know what's going on in the chat and why they keep deleting Jessica Jones's messages, or if she's deleting them. Were you going against the guidelines, girl? I want to know what was going on. But yeah, I said I wanted to talk about because me and my friend about to start a podcast. Y'all look out for me and my friend's podcast. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff, but I be always thinking like, because when our clients come in, we do have some great conversations that need to be heard, like, because it's some dangerous people out here on the internet spewing dangerous stuff, like, and the mindsets, it just ain't healthy. So I was like, I'm gonna start test drive this a little bit, and see what how that goes. But yeah, one of the questions was I was asking my client the other day about the protection.
Okay.
About how women can protect men and how men can what we mean by protection. And I was just thinking about my daddy or whatever. Like, it was instances and like, because women will go put ourselves in some situations and then expect this man to come over because we know he will.
Right.
And it's like, are you protecting him in that sense, or are you?
The healthy way of doing it is to learn how to protect him
by protecting
and protecting yourself.
Exactly.
So, because if all you're doing is pushing so much of your energy into protecting him, you leave yourself vulnerable and open to whatever. That means you're susceptible to whatever. So that means while you're trying to protect him, that means you could be being attacked. So if somebody's attacking you, he's not focusing on somebody attacking you because he's focusing on somebody attacking him. But you focus on
yes, that's what I'm trying to get. When we was having a conversation, I was trying to get them to understand because I understood it with my daddy.
Right.
Like, I was in certain situations that I didn't feel like was so crazy that I needed to go get him.
Right.
But I knew, like, it got to a point where I knew, like, not to put myself in these positions. Because me putting myself in this position, I know the outcome. And I know I can't fight this fight. I'm going to have to get a man to fight this fight. Do I want my dad to go to jail? Do I want him to die?
Right.
Do I want him? So it was just like, you got to know when a man coming, he coming.
Right.
A real man.
Right.
He ain't talking. He ain't finna do none of that.
Right.
He coming. You what happened? on my way. So it's like you gotta pick and choose.
That's right, pick and choose
your
battles.
But like you said, protect yourself, and protecting yourself is being accountable and aware of situations.
That's right.
I'm not about to go out here and openly start no argument with no man because he was being disrespectful.
Right.
Good day, sir. Good day, sir.
Right.
You feel how you feel. I'm not going to argue with no man.
That's right.
So I'm going to keep pushing. You have a great day. Just like little stuff like that. And I feel like they don't understand how women protect them in that sense. That's a form of protection.
That's right.
Because now it's a conversation about black men not protecting black women.
Well, it's also a thing of, if I hold your heart, that means I'm making the decision to protect your spirit. And when you say, I'm going to protect your spirit, that means that's all encompassing. That means your mental. Yeah. That means your physical. That means, you know what I'm saying?
Everything, yeah.
That means everything. And there's not too many men that's willing to hold your heart the right way. Not just hold your heart, but are they holding your heart the right way? So,
have you ever thought about dating Asian men, and what do you think about abolishing the police? Oh, that is scary, because I do think it's an order needs to be done.
Abolishing the what?
Police.
Oh, people got to recognize that everything that's going on out here with the police, there's a dark spirit behind that. So until they start praying and to get that thing handled, it's going to be an issue.
Okay, dating Asian men. So
I don't have a problem with dating.
You know that it's been said on the bottom of the totem pole is Asian men, black women, then black men, and then it goes so on and so forth. We're at the very bottom.
But
I think we get caught up on.
Well,
I think we get caught up on that.
But what do we say about those stigmas and those stereotypes?
Right.
They say, oh, Asian man is, you know.
He ain't packing down now.
But that's not true either. How you know he ain't packing it? You ain't seen nothing. You don't know that. Right. Did you look at his package last night? Did you examine it?
You know what they put in the movie.
I mean, and there are plenty of Asian men who love and respect white women. I have
before. He said he wanted to be better. Now he is better and has been a while. I don't know what to think now. Not married yet, together 8 years. I sometimes think he doesn't want to marry me anymore, but we have a fun relationship. Should I ask?
No,
why haven't y'all had that conversation?
No, you should tell him. I had to tell mine.
That you wanted to get married?
Yeah, I told him.
When did you have that conversation, though?
Well, here's the thing. We were together for 3 years, right? And I told him that I felt like, you know, in order for it to be right, we needed to just get married, you know, and it wasn't like this.
I think 3 years is fair.
Yeah, we were together for 3 years, and I was like, okay, where is this going? You know, 2 to 3 years, you know.
So do you believe men know what they want in the first 6 months, like they say?
No, they do not. They're still busy trying to find themselves. They're still busy trying to figure it out and what they're going to do.
I don't know how anybody knows anybody.
Here's the thing, too, with a lot of men. If they feel like they're not established enough, if they feel like they don't have enough, if they're not bringing in so much money, if they don't have a house, or they're not driving some expensive car, they're not doing this, then they're very reluctant to move forward in a real commitment and relationship because they feeling like they can't provide the type of luxury or lifestyle that they feel that you want and desire.
I have before. He said he wanted to be better. Now he is better. I have before. He loves talking about it. He doesn't blow me off or anything. We now have a 2-year-old. Like, what we waiting for?
Okay, so this is my experience and what I did. This not to me disclaimer that this works for everybody. But I ended up breaking up with my husband for 4 months because that's how serious I was about us getting married. It's like if you ain't trying to get married and all of this, I'm not going to waste my time with you because, you know, there's too many other people out here. If you're not ready and all of that, then do whatever it is that you need to do. But because I knew he was in love with me and I knew he loved me to that degree, me being apart from him for even that 4 month stint period, you know, even when he thought he didn't have it all together, he was like, I can't do this. I can't live my life without you. We making plans.
Right. So, okay, that couple, Kadeem and Deval, do you know them, follow them? Okay, so they had that conversation too, because he was like, men get pressured into being married, and she like, I didn't pressure you. He was like, so you wasn't like, if you don't use, I'm gonna leave. Like, that's just for her life, how she envisioned it. What are we doing?
That's
like
right.
You said, like,
right.
if we're not going to do this, then I'm going to have to move forward.
That's
because
right.
I continue. If you love me like you say you do,
right.
you committed, you here,
right.
you're doing everything, so what's the
problem?
hold up? But he viewed it as a gun being put up to his head, and
like this ultimatum.
No, in order to continue to be with me, this is what I have set for my life.
Right.
Like, this is how I envision my life. If you want to be there, but you're not gonna let that good woman go, though.
But here's
because
the thing.
You know, if you let her go,
right.
then you know everything she comes with. You know, if she go get it to another man, somebody gonna wipe her up quick. So.
But men have a tendency to want to put a ring on it out of fear.
And that.
You know?
And that. And that.
So,
don't put no ring on me out of fear because you don't want to then still treat me like trash.
You know.
Oh, can we talk about how this ring though? This ring holds some powers.
No. The ring don't.
So a lot of women. God.
They're putting too much emphasis on the ring.
Oh,
they put way too much emphasis on it.
This man can be done. Just did you in dirty yesterday. It's like the moment that ring gets presented, all goes out the window.
No.
All goes out the window. I saw the conversation that he was speaking from his perspective and she was speaking, from hers. But it all started to make sense to him though. Like,
wow.
When he initially said it, he was like, you putting a gun up to my head, but then later on in the conversation, it was like understood. Like, they made it more clear, but they was posing the question because a lot of people thought like that. Like, a lot of men thought like that. Like, oh, you giving me an ultimatum, you putting a gun to my head, you forcing me. But it's like, no, if this is what you say you want, and you want to build, we already doing it.
Right.
Like, let's move forward.
That's right.
I didn't put a gun up to your head. That was just a decision. Your decision was if you want to keep me or not. Right. You have that choice to walk away if that is not what you want.
That's right.
But that's what you wanted, so you made it happen.
That's right.
Captain.
All right.
Better not lose that great woman. I love that relationship, though. They so funny. But it's a marriage. The way they talking about it now, it don't sound appealing at all.
No.
It's
been distorted
like
and
something that you just don't want to jump into.
Well, here's the thing too, and I'm starting to see a lot of this too. A lot of open marriages, a lot of swinging situations, and all kind of foreign polyamories and stuff going on. And at the end of the day,
how you feel about that?
Oh no! Listen, I'm not willing to share my man, nor am I willing to be shared. You know, I know there's a lot of women out here with this thinking that all men cheat. Where in the world are people getting that from? All men do not cheat. Now, if your man is cheating, that's just your man. Mm-hmm. But not all men cheat. Now, I will say that, like anything else, there are some men who are just simply immature. And they make bonehead decisions. But at the end of the day...
With that bonehead.
Yeah, hey, that's what they do. But at the end of the day, if you love them enough to be patient enough for them to grow out of all that immaturity and you make that decision, that's fine. And I don't feel like women should be penalized for staying with someone that they feel that they truly love and they can grow with, you know, and they shouldn't be, you know, talked about or made to feel, you know, bad because they choose to stay. Now, here's the thing. My husband ain't perfect. He wasn't perfect in the beginning.
Nobody is.
Okay. But
hold on,
at the end...
Quick.
Yeah.
Do you want it like mixed in or I know you told me to do my thing, but I don't want to put too much color at the top of your hair and you be like, so too much color.
You can put some highlights up here, and the highlights around here.
So
because
you
I know
want
the
it kind of
root,
highlighted and
highlighted and blended kind of throughout.
Oh, okay.
However you do it.
Well, then I'm gonna do just the part just black and then,
Yeah.
All right. Okay, but as you are.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, nobody's perfect, but it's a question of what are you willing to deal with. What are you willing to deal with? It's not about what somebody else is willing to deal with, because you're gonna always have somebody trying to tell you about your relationship, and the folks that always want to tell you about your relationship ain't even got no relationship.
I do not care about the cost of the ring. You can lose it, take it off, or what have you. At the end of the day, your marriage is there, and it's God. God is in your marriage. It will last a lifetime.
It will, because God is the center of mine.
Yes, bonehead decisions. Yeah. I agree.
There are a lot of women, like you said, they get caught up in the ring.
I see
but at the
it
end
so
of
much, and it's just like
it's real
you
bad.
don't care about connection, you don't care about none of that stuff. Like, or they'll totally neglect how they're feeling. Like, I feel like if most of my days are miserable with this person, I'm not marrying you. I'm out. I'm waiting at this point. If more of I have more happy days with you than I have miserable, then we can work. But if I have more miserable days, right, because you are mentally draining me, you physically draining me, probably financially draining me, you have no logic, you don't plan on growing, I can't do anything with you. But a lot of women, because they want to say that they are wives or they are wife, just so they can throw it in another woman's face that she's not or not worthy, is you will say yes, so you want to be validated. It's the validation for me.
But I mean, literally being caught up in the ring. They get so caught up in
it's like soon as
how big
it
is, and it's it's all of this, and the thing about it is, but that ring ain't gonna make your marriage last, because the unity is not in the ring. The unity is in the relationship between you and him. So, that ring is not gonna make your marriage last. And if you can't get to a point where you guys can come together as one, then it's not going to work, no matter how big your rock is. You'll be turning around in about less than a year taking that bad boy to a pawn shop trying to get some money for it.
Let me cash out. Let me cash out.
And and why a lot of these women over here thinking they just got all this extra ring and all of that, a lot of that stuff be cubic zirconia, moissanite, and everything else. You ain't even sporting no real diamonds, but you over here showcasing it,
It's just, for me, all the stuff, how big the ring is, how small it is, it's just
doesn't matter.
All the stuff that goes out the window once it's presented.
But think about what the ring is supposed to be for. The ring is supposed to be a reminder to the two of you of your union. It's also supposed to be a reminder to everybody else that you have a linked union with someone. That's all the ring is there for. The ring doesn't hold special powers. Your relationship holds that power. And how much of that power are you willing to grow?
Oh, okay, so
into that relationship.
Off the women right quick. We have a bunch of men getting married just because.
They're getting married because they...
Some dudes that I've known that just hopped in marriages because they thought it's supposed to be this one way. Like they really... And they starting to say that men aren't marrying the women that they love. They're marrying the ones that...
Makes sense.
Ain't even make sense. Well, that too. But because they stuck around... Or they going through, like, it's not because they really, it's almost a level of,
wow.
It's a thing going on with men, too, that are getting married. And the ones that I know, the ones that have gotten out of marriage, they didn't go in it with the marriage, like, mindset of values and connection and growing. And it's just, like you said, it just made sense. to do. And then you got some men out here, that's how they judge themselves as men. Like, I gotta go do this, I gotta get the career, I gotta get the wife, I gotta get this. Like, it ain't a formula to it.
And you think this happens in
It
more
happens
older or more
it's
younger
men?
boys
doing it. Dudes my age, younger males are doing it. Like, my child's father was married, and when I asked him about it, it was I'm not gonna say it on live because I don't want to put. I don't
put a business out there.
It ain't even his business. It's just that I feel a need to protect that other woman's feelings.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't liked before I even came in the picture, but
right.
Just to protect her feelings, I'll leave it. But there are men out here that don't. They don't have a clear sense of what it is, and they just they kind of on the path, but the path ain't correct either. They're not growing in the sense, or then when they do finally grow and realize, it like takes them to go through it for them to understand what it really means.
Men are eager too, especially if it's been a while, and there's a stigma of men are not respected unless they're married. So if they're not respected in business, if they're not respected, they may be respected by their peers, but it doesn't look good around other married people or other, circles that they may be in where everybody else is married and then you're the only one single. So they have a tendency to rush into things and just marry up on somebody. And, then it gets interesting.
Lord, it's so much. It's so much. I don't know, but I hope to experience it before I leave this earth.
Yes.
I want to know what it feels like to have my love reciprocated.
Well, continue to speak it. In order for things to happen, you got to allow those things to manifest. And how you manifest things is by speaking positively into the atmosphere for those things to start getting in work. I don't think enough people talk about when people always want to sit up there and talk negative on you and put that negative energy out there. Then you gotta then you gotta turn around and rebut that because somebody's speaking on you. So now you gotta rebut that and say something else.
Does it a lot. Like, she does it a lot. Like, Mama, stop. Like, if I'm going somewhere, she like, Mika, I'm scared. No.
Yeah, don't
put your
there.
Fears on me. You manifesting it over my life because you're speaking it into existence. Like, now I gotta go back and do damage control. Like, God, that ain't what we want. Like,
yeah, buddy.
Or you got people who really believe. Okay, can we talk about the spiritual side of it? Because they really believe, like, when you say manifest or anything like that, it's like you speaking against God or put it in the universe. You speaking against God. It ain't God-like.
No, that's not true.
I'm like, it all goes together.
That's not true. But in order to combat negative energy, you got to put positive energy out there. And so if somebody's speaking negative about you and speaking over you in a way that, is not a promising thing, then you got to stop them in their tracks and be like, you know what? Wait a minute. That's not true. That's like somebody telling a lie over you.
Yeah.
You know it's a lie. You got to go back and be like, you know what? Wait a minute.
Excited and optimistic, and here you come.
But
with
the
your
saying,
fears and no.
But misery loves company. And so, have you ever had a friend that you thought was a friend, and then you tell them something great that's happening in your life, or something good that's coming to you or happening for you? Watch their reaction. If they're genuinely happy,
that's why my circle is down to a dot.
Because they'll show you that they not as for you as they claim.
My circle has been reduced to a dot.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yes,
and it took me to learn. It hurt when it was happening.
Yeah.
But now it done got to the point where I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
God, do work. Do what you do, for real. Because at first, because my heart's so big, like, I want everybody to win. I want everybody to be happy. And I was that type, like, when I didn't have it, I was still clapping for other people because I always knew that my turn was coming.
That's right.
But then when my turn came, it seemed as if they were supportive, but low key it was a why her.
Mm. Very interesting.
That's another conversation. Why
Oh
do you write these
man.
topics down? We're talk about friendships. But we're gonna talk about marriage today. Open up. You have to sit down and listen, and he will answer your questions without him even knowing it. In the other words, the conversation will lead itself.
That's true.
Uh, for real. That is 100%. It seems that some women or men are not respecting their marriages, or the outside trumps, tramps, my bad, are not respecting marriage, such as Portia, and women and men that are like her.
But there are so many women that act like Portia.
I'm trying to get us to understand the mindsets. For real. Because it's different women, because you don't feel like that, because you wouldn't do that. Right. Your mind is not going to compute why this girl would do that.
Right.
Because you are not her. You don't think like her. Your tribe of people don't think like her. It's crazy. But her tribe of people, they think alike. So, like I said, even Fallon, opportunists. They're opportunists. What do we know about? It's rarely situations where you really see a young woman really loving on an old man. And even if she is, it's still some little trauma there. It's probably a daddy issue. But you rarely see it. More of what you see is these young girls getting with those men because they got money. It's a bag. I get security. I get to be taken care of. I get to. But what do we also know about men with money? They like this Kevin Samuels dude. He delivering harsh truths. I don't like how he talked to women, but some of the stuff he's saying is not a lie. You gotta know who you dealing with, and you gotta know people. I observe people a lot. I do, and their behaviors.
But check this out: a woman is tested when she has nothing. A man is tested when he has everything.
Everything, right?
So usually, if a man has everything and the contents of his spirit is right, and he's humble and he's a nice guy and he's still genuine, that's somebody to pay attention to, even with him being as blessed as he is. Yeah. But a woman who doesn't have a whole lot and can still remain humble, that is the type of woman that men should pay attention to. It's not that you can't be blessed in your own right, but when I say that, not have anything, meaning that something is not there. It may not be money, or it could be that you're a good mother. It could be that overall you have good wife tendencies, and it could be that you're a hard worker. Yeah. It could be that you're genuine and that you love hard and you have an overall good heart. But you do have women out here that what these men are attaching themselves to is nothing but a body. Because that's what they're bringing to the relationship is a body.
That's all they see. And they got the money. I got the money. Because when they don't have the money, you don't have to pick of the litter of women. This is what reality is. Most dudes, when they get to a certain level, I can have any woman I want, because what do most women want? Security.
Financial
to be
security.
Taken care of. To be this, is that, and the third. So if I know that about y'all, I got my picking and my choosing who I want. And it ain't for to be this single black mama over here, like with her child and all this stuff like that. It's not. Why would I choose you when I can have Miss Exotic over here, Miss USA, Miss Everything? Like, she gonna be looking, and then it's the whole ego and pride thing. Like, now I get to bring her around my boys. Look at my new trophy. Look at my new shiny thing. Like,
but then she's spending all your money, and then she cheating on you, and then she.
And that's when I feel like you can't say shit.
Yeah, I mean,
because this is what you signed up for. You don't get to holler, oh, I want a woman that I can really, because then you get what you say you wanted, and then you don't want it. And that's my thing with men not being realistic with the Kevin Samuels thing. It's like when women tell him this, it's like, oh, no, you're not listening to me. You're not. Y'all saying y'all only want 4 things. You get that 4 things, and then say you lose all your damn money. And you gotta go to be broke. Is this woman gonna be here for you? No, because that ain't what she signed up for.
That's right.
And that ain't what you had her come on the job for.
And she going to leave as soon as it's gone.
As soon as it's gone, she out. She gone to the next rich person. So what? They asking for stuff that they don't really want. And not being realistic about. You don't get the nurturing woman. You get this lady who's going to pretend and fake and shake you for as long as she need to get what she need. So don't play victim on both sides. Don't play victim when you get popped. He cheated, you knew what was coming with the territory. He liked you for a brief moment. He got money, he got the pick of the litter. There's plenty of toys out here. I'm done playing with this toy. On to the next toy. Portia.
What do you think about Portia having all that work done to make herself look more exotic anyway? Nose job, eyes squinted, you know. I'm not opposed to anybody, improving themselves. That helps boost your self-esteem. But I do believe. What is it rooted from? Right. That's
what is it rooted from?
Right. And why do you want to? Did you see the thing with Serena Williams? And they made a big deal about her bleaching her skin.
Did she really bleach?
Yeah. Yeah.
She was like a badass makeup job to me.
I don't know. She was looking kind of Tina Turner-esque.
She did look like Tina Turner. I thought that's who it was at first. I ain't gonna even lie. I really did thought that's who it was.
Yeah. But they said she'd been doing it for a while. But, my thing is her husband married her because he wanted to marry her and he loved her the way that she was. And, the question that my husband begged to me was, if he married her like that and he loved her the way she was, then why did she feel the need to try to change everything about her if her husband, And I said, I felt very seriously that he's not telling her how beautiful she is, but until she feels beautiful and until she feels happy with herself, it ain't going to be nothing that he can say to her that's going to make her,
yeah. I agree.
So it's just one of them things.
Oh, it's so broken out here in the world. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. I don't know what it's going to take. It's the healing.
First, you got to acknowledge that you need some.
That.
Everybody want to walk around here like they problem and then she free.
But then be the first one to holler.
But let me tell you something,
I ain't perfect.
Ain't nobody perfect. But I gave and told someone else that he's like, he just get on my nerve and I'm this and he and doing all this and this and this and that. And I said, let me tell you what happened with me. I said, I was so mad at my husband one time. I said, I went and I sat down and got into a quiet place and I prayed and I was just venting to God. I'm like, he get on my nerve, he doing this, he doing that, and I'm just going on and on and on. I'm expecting to hear God. I ain't heard nothing. And then, okay,
crickets.
I ain't heard nothing. He ain't said nothing to me.
And
I'm just sitting over here, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so a little bit later, after I done calmed all the way down from being mad at the situation, and I got still and got quiet again, then God began to speak to me. And you know what he said? He said, let's talk about you.
Woo.
He said, you telling me about him, but let's talk about you.
Ooh.
Let's talk about what you brought to the situation, how you could have handled it. Let's talk about your tone and your attitude. Let's talk about your way of thinking. Let's talk about you. Then once we talk about you, you let me handle him. So I had to get to a point where if I was dealing with a situation with my husband and stuff like that, and I go and pray, the first thing I would do would be like, okay, Lord, what did I do? Was it something that I did to help create this situation or to add to this situation, that could have been handled differently, because I don't want to come.
Enough of that right there.
You know,
it's not enough of that.
And then once I started doing that and doing a self-check right off the bat, then I never had to question God about him, because God always handled him.
Okay.
And then he would come back to me and be like, babe, man, God dealt with me. I'm sorry. I handled it the wrong way. And, and he don't ever like to fight with me no way. Yeah. It like hurts his feelings if he even feel like I'm mad at him.
Because he like his good times with you. I don't like this. I like when we happy. When we get along, we chilling. He don't
like all that strife and all that.
Here we go now.
So we always get to that place of getting it back together. And now, because we've been together for so long, we don't even sweat the small stuff. We can get on each other's nerve and say something, and somebody else on the outside be like, oh, Lord, they got problems and issues, right? Mm-hmm. But to us, we just be like, that's everyday talk between he and I.
They're like, what is going on?
That's everyday talk. And they really think we just got all these problems and stuff, and it's just like, that's just the way we communicate with each other, because we can discuss and say how we feel, and it could even be like we irritated with each other, but it never goes past that, in the sense that we holding on to it, holding grudges, and and all this other extra stuff. We can sit up there and have a disagreement and then kiss each other all in the same sentence. I was looking crazy like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all got some dysfunctional relationship going on. I'm like, no, this is normal. We good. Are y'all good? Are you all up over here?
All in our business.
Yeah, you good?
But then both of y'all started attacking them. Like, why y'all all over here?
We good. Shoot, y'all just didn't even know before we came. We made it happen. Shoot, y'all don't know what's going on. Shoot, y'all
made it happen.
Yeah, buddy. So.
Yeah. I just pray to find somebody I can grow with. I know it's there.
You put it out there, and you have faith in.
I just be worried about, because I'm a busy woman.
You busy, but when it's the right one, you'll make the right time. You'll make the time. Because you'll want it, because you'll be a balance.
I ain't going to be at home.
Well, you don't know what he's bringing to the table either.
Sure, right.
So, because at the end of the day, you may not have to be working as hard. When you have somebody that's there, you guys are there together to accomplish your goals and get yourselves established and all of that. But, you ain't doing it by yourself. And if he knows you're goal oriented and you got things going on, he'll be understanding of that.
Because I can't deal with no more intimidated.
Yes, indeed.
No more intimidated.
Yes, indeed.
I have a problem with people trying to control me.
Yeah, I have a problem with that too.
I'm a real free thinker. I'm a real free thinker. I just like my freedoms. Yeah. But I do know how to exist. Right. As long as you're not trying to tell me what I can and can't do, like, I just don't really believe in that. I don't believe in oppression.
If you can't be free to be yourself, then
why?
I mean, that's not somebody you want to be with no way if you can't just be you.
With Fallon, her soon-to-be ex admitted that she has her own money, and he posted before the divorce how much he loved her. They were building an empire together. At the same while, those same men get these exotic women. They are miserable as hell, and half of them cannot hold a conversation at all. So, according to him, Fallon was cheating on him. I don't know how true that is. I mean, he had his little video he came out with, but I don't know. You just have to really evaluate people in the situation and get really the whole story. But for what I've seen commonly is that. And I just feel like if that's what you're going to be, like, keep that mindset. With we be ready to fight each other, but we not realizing, like, the stuff we fighting over, trash. And even if she wasn't an opportunist, the fact that this woman came in my house with a damn thong swimsuit on, and my husband is here,
what?
We're shutting it down.
Who did that?
Portia.
No.
She had a cover up on, but that ass was out.
Oh no.
So
the
it's
disrespect.
Just like, yes. So
wow.
I'm just for to check that. Going to check that out. We gonna.
Wow.
We're not gonna wear this, or I'm not gonna have him come out to serve us drinks and stuff at the pool.
What? That's disrespectful.
So if your mind ain't to cover up when you in the presence of somebody else's husband, that's red flag number one.
So right.
Call it an insecurity or call it whatever you want. He's still a man at the end of the day. You won't tempt minds. I was celibate for 3 years after a 12-year breakup. I took sex out of the dating and prayed for God to send a mate. I was blessed, girl. I'm now married and so.
Yes, guys! We're going to clap for that.
Will you give me hope?
Clap for that.
Give me hope.
That's good.
Because when you take sex out of, like, this last little situation that I was in or whatever, he don't understand. Like, I told him I really do like you. And I want to get to know you outside of it. I don't want my judgment clouded. And he can't understand it. Block. I'm not about to, because you clearly telling me what it is. And I'm steady trying to doctor it up to be something
But
else.
A real one he'll wait.
Right.
A real one will wait.
But you're not going to constantly pressure me about sex. So I know further. Then you want to say it's not about sex.
Right.
But you constantly pressuring me about it. If I say I don't want to do this, that's just what it is. Respect my boundaries. I've played that game where I've given myself and I ended up with nothing. I feel like as a woman, even though I have all these qualities that I possess and I can bring to the table, that one card that I have that I can protect, that I feel like I always felt like I got took after. They'll play the game long enough and then I give myself over to you and then you discard me.
Right.
And I just hated that feeling how I felt after. Where you got other females, they don't give a damn. You got some females, they don't care. Because they there for the two. I want sex. So give it to me and I'm gone too. Like it don't bother them. For me, I know it bothers me, so I'm not going to continue to do it. I feel like I've got I feel like a piece of me has been took. I feel like I'm soul tied to you. I feel like I believe in all of that stuff. So no, I'm not for to give you my body. I'm not giving another my body until I'm for 100% sure you're for me. And we can rock out. The wait has been long. But I just feel like it clouds too much stuff. Especially with us because we're so emotional.
But you know, men nowadays are becoming more and more emotional.
Oh, yes, they are.
You know, and they make emotional decisions.
And that's why I'm running into now, like, when I do talk about it, it's like it's weird almost because it's like now I am seeing them operating their emotions and I'm the logical one. But you're mad at me for being logical. But this is the same thing y'all been yelling for years, that we're too emotional and we need to get out our emotions. So you don't like me when I'm emotional and you damn sure can't stand me if I'm being logical. Make it make sense. Yes, ladies. Clap her up in the comments. That is amazing. She just gave me some hope. Some more hope.
All right now.
Continue on my path. Sheesh. You do get tired of that, like
it's coming though.
You believing and you really hopeful out here, and that's why I say I'm never. Okay, ladies on this chat, let's be 100. Have you ever, the way that you spoil a black man with, not with gifts or anything, just with your love, how you take care of them, even if gifts are thrown in a situation because you appreciate them so much. Like, we're known to do that. Have you, as a black woman, can you officially say outside of your father or any man in your family, have you been spoiled in that same sense by a black man?
It doesn't happen often, but yes.
You have?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to hear how many no's it would be and how many yeses it would be.
Yes, because that's what my husband does for me.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of men that don't, but that's.
With all the relationships in your life, have you been spoiled and protected in the sense that you spoil and protect a black man? Have you got that in return? Has it been reciprocated? Have you felt at ease enough to lay your bag down, your bag of stuff, because of this man?
Only with my husband. No, none before.
And why is it so? Yes, okay. We got some yeses up here. Okay. For me, it has been a no. I guess because I'm looking for that feeling that my daddy gave me. I haven't felt protected enough to let my guards down fully. No, I have not been spoiled in the same way in relationships. I give and love from the heart, and no, it was done. And it was not done in return. Someone said their husband. Okay. And that's what I've gotten. And then it's like us women who haven't, y'all are really the hope that we have. For real, because it's like you see it, so you know it can be done. Right. But it's just like, shush, like, why do we have to go through the most? Or why can't we be loved in the same manner? Like, all these boyfriends we done had, like, not one of y'all just be like, I find you worthy to be spoiled. But you know who do? What is so crazy? Other races. White men go find the blackest black woman, not the ghetto.
Right, just her
black woman.
Skin.
Her skin complexion, when you
Afro
listen,
hair,
it's a whole movement out here. Go on TikTok.
Wow.
Where they out here talking about black women and why they like them.
Wow.
And it's like when you listen, it's like you feel like you being seen for the first time. It's like, damn, like how I feel about black men when I see them, I feel like they beautiful, they this, they all this deeper stuff. That's how they look at us. Some of them. And they go find the darkest skinned woman they can find. They do. It's so funny to me. I be looking at that. I was like, okay. And they like, I just love her skin. I just love how she this and how she nurtures and how she.
Right.
And some with light skinned women too. Like, I don't want to just like make this a whole like dark skin thing, but they go when they with black women. This is what they say.
Yeah.
And I just find it funny, like, how is it that we're able, the same thing they say we are not when you get with the opposite race, even with black men. So I can't, like, just exit them out, too, because, I mean, they do get something that we're not providing from white women. And we get something that they ain't providing from white men. And it's like, why is it that we can go across the line and be what we ask and what we constantly fight each other about over here? I'm asking you to take care of your kids, go get a job, go do this, respect me, all this stuff like that, and it's a fight. But you go get with somebody else, and it's easy breezy. You know how to be a man, you know how to get a job, you know how to take care of your kids, you know how to do all this stuff. It's like, and it's and flip too. Like, we do the same thing, and it's like, why can't we get it together for each other? Because I would prefer it to be.
Yes, indeed.
With the black. I would not give up on love, but I learned to not put myself out there if he is not willing to put himself out there. Hello, nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can clean this off. Does anybody got time for that?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nobody got time. I just ultimately want us to heal.
Yeah.
And find love, regardless of who is with.
Yeah. But just always be mindful and keep it open, because you just never know how God will bless.
Right.
And what you think, because I tell people this all the time. He could be the most quirky, dorky, nerdiest, and everything.
Corny me, please. Corny me.
But he's real smart. He's intelligent. He's sweet. And he's got all these other benefactors. And so just because he's not smooth suave with it doesn't mean that he won't treat you like the queen you are. You just got to be open to that, because I think sometimes people.
I think with age we start to learn what we want, what we don't want,
right?
Like what we gonna tolerate and what we not gonna tolerate. Because all this stuff, like when you younger, you like toxic.
Bad boys.
You do. You love toxic. It's just that thrill. It's everything about it. But then as you get older and you start like really healing and you going through this and you feel you just exhausted with it, and it's like, I don't want that no more. I want peace. I want somebody who really sees me and cares about me and can pick up on my cues of when I don't understand myself, and they not hold it against me. I know me, I pay attention well. You ain't acting like yourself. Come here, let me hug on you.
Yeah. Oh, they'll love that.
Yes,
men are emotional creatures too.
They are.
They're emotional creatures. They don't like to think that they are.
Because they be holding it all in. Yeah. I'm like, express it, let it out. Let's talk. Cry. Let me hold you. Let me eat your little you. Come lay in my boobs. Come lay in my boobs.
Be like, baby, what's wrong?
Right.
What's wrong?
Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah. What's wrong? Tell me how your day has been.
Right. Let me rub your head. Come here.
Let me rub on your chest real quick. Let me lay my head on your shoulder.
Right.
let's cuddle and snuggle for a little bit.
Let's
Tell
talk.
me what you know. Men love all that just as much as women do. My husband said something. He's like, he said, I don't understand why these men out here want to be all hard and everything. Talking about ain't nobody that hard.
They're okay. It's
he
stressful.
Said, and then he talked about ain't nothing but a bunch of sensitive thugs, right?
That's exactly what it is. Sensitive thugs.
He said, because at the end of the day,
I heard drinking away their problems and smoking it away. Like, boy, come here and get this good loving from a woman.
Quit playing.
Let me show you my power.
Okay. Now, you can get one and he a little rough around the edges, okay? But just because he's a little rough around the edges doesn't mean his heart is not golden,
He got some crust.
So some folks can handle their little rough around the edges, but his heart is golden. And he still treats you like a queen. So it just depends.
That makes it all the more sweeter. You love a rude boy that's sweet to us. Just getting him to be more vocal.
Yeah.
And then I need them to understand too, like, just like it's grown ass boys out here, we got grown ass women. So you gotta know who to vent to and who not to.
Right.
Like, check the mental.
Yeah, buddy. Because
you got some women out here who really be out here chastising these men for expressing themselves, and it's like, no, girl, like you dead, like we trying to get them to talk.
Right.
Maybe they'll stop killing us. For all that bottled up emotions, they don't know what to do. It's misplaced, and we got women out here losing their lives because of it, or them killing their own selves because they can't
money.
deal with it, because they
Right.
can't talk to nobody. They homeboys making them feel a type of way like, this my arena.
Mm.
That's what I do.
Wow.
Come on, let's talk. Let me love on you.
Yes,
But you got
indeed.
women out here, really out here, you a beat, and you weak, and you this, and you that. No, sis. That's not what we doing.
Wow.
That ain't how you handle that. So there's been this thing with this masculine and feminine energy that they said women aren't feminine anymore. We're too masculine. I think it's a defense mechanism.
It is. It's called a hormonal imbalance.
It is a defense mechanism. I very much so possess a lot. I think we both possess both traits. Like everything, I feel like everything in the world is about balance.
Well, okay. So let's talk about it from a physiological, standpoint. If you go to the doctor and they tell you, and every man and woman possesses estrogen and testosterone. That's two hormones.
Yeah.
Estrogen is more known for the women. Testosterone is more known for the men. But when you have too much
of
one on either side, it can become unbalanced. So if you're a woman and you have too much testosterone, you're gonna be coming off real aggressive and start having some, some hormonal things and shifts in your body going on because of this testosterone you got going on. Same thing with men. If there's too much an overbalance of estrogen, then you'll see them become a lot more emotional and a lot more sensitive than,
normal.
Right. So there's that, but there's also medical conditions and things like that that cause those types of imbalances at times. But yes. Which way do you tip? Well,
I feel like balance that. Balance it.
Yes,
I think it's very beneficial to have both.
There's another color in there too.
Oh, sure. I thought they were both the same.
No.
Oh, okay. I can put them to the top. Mix them together. Yeah, I think balance it. But I think with women, because they are seeing more masculine traits in us, I feel like some of the result is that of being chastised, being who we are. You're too emotional. Oh, you nagging me. Oh, you this. Oh, you that. Like, so it's like now and then mix that with women are tired of being treated a certain way,
right,
while being loyal, while being this, but getting walked all over. It's like it does make you kind of hard. And then on top of that, you've been left to be a single parent. So now I got to become the provider and the disciplinarian and the everything. Like, you're more likely to put on the back burner your soft ways because now you got to raise this human being up depending on your views of the world to be tough, to be this. It's hard to give him to. You really have to sacrifice yourself and really consciously pay attention to what you putting into your child for them to become well rounded if it's just you. And that it ain't been a lot of that going on because I feel like a lot of women didn't have this knowledge that we have today. They did it the best way they could. I gotta beat my son to make him be a man. I gotta be.
Lord.
Yeah, it's like it was a lot of that. And you're not giving him that nurturing side.
Wow.
So he'll know it's supposed to be a balance.
Right.
Because that's what you're supposed to have the man and the woman for, right? Like, so it's just like, I got to treat she at work all day. I can't make your games. I got to make sure you have a place to stay, food on the table. So I got to work 2 jobs. So now he's left to kind of get into some stuff.
Right.
Now I got the OGs on the block. Now they finna tell me how to be a man. And then with our daughters, we're more likely to chastise them and coddle our sons. So it's just all mixed matched up out here, mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I was brought up where it was like, because I was a girl, it was just expected.
Yeah.
That I had to have A's and I had to do this and I had to do that. But with my brothers, it almost felt like they just didn't have the same expectation. They weren't as hard on them as they were me. And so, because of that, how I raise my kids is the expectation is the same across the board. So ain't gonna be none of this, you know.
He get to stay out late.
He get to do this and she got to do this and do all of that. No. The same expectation I have for you was the same expectation I got for you. You know, it's about her just getting A's. You better be getting A's.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not about you
respect
just hanging out with your friends.
Everybody respecting themselves.
Yeah, you know.
I had to come in when the street lights came on.
Shoot.
But my brother can go run all night long.
Yeah, buddy. See?
No, he need to be in the house too. My granny told me ain't nothing open that labor legs. So they need to be up in the house. So I just believe it's a cause and effect to everything.
Yeah.
It ain't just one-sided or one person is causing this. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. We've been on for a minute. My comments not rolling in on that? Or y'all just watching it? And for y'all who have been rocking with me, sorry for my absence. Oh, it's been so much going on. I'm trying to get my life organized. But I haven't been able to keep up with my videos that I post. Trying to get it organized where I have like a designated day where I come in and actually get people that I'm going to record where it can all look neat and clean and professional instead of just recording my clients and they come in. It's happening to be having the makeup on and be like, girl. YouTube is a whole nother business within itself. What I missing the connection? I know, right? What we talk about? It was a lot. It was a lot. Oh, my ashy elbow. Y'all, don't talk about my elbow.
It's just basically an imbalance between men and women.
It's a huge imbalance. I have a dream. And one day we're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. And that's going to be the day.
Okay.
They for that too. Just keep going. Girl, what y'all want to talk about? Shoot, we gonna talk about everything under the sun. We're gonna talk about this 18-year marriage. Try to see what that be like. There's somebody to ride the rest of this thing out with. Make it fun. I think people get too much caught up on like I don't know, for me, I like to keep stuff as simple as possible.
Yeah.
So how you, okay, we got another topic. So this whole 50-50 thing, it's been a problem. How do you feel about 50-50?
50-50 of just what? Everything?
When women think of it, we think everything. Like, you're going to go half on these dishes, you're going to go half on cleaning up, you're going to go half on this rent, raising these kids, all this.
Here, it's never 50-50. Okay?
It's 100.
It's
the topic that they put out is like, the idea or the concept is that we like equally.
Okay, so
put
in my house, we both have income coming in. We both do the share of household chores. So he ain't above washing no dishes and doing no laundry.
Right.
Okay. We also have 2 teenagers, so they pitch in and do their part as well. It's a whole joint effort. Where he and I is concerned, we have never had an issue of who gonna put what on what bill and who's supposed to pay what and all of that. It don't matter who paying what as long as it gets paid.
Done. Yes, that is how I feel. And it's like, why are we out here arguing about this stuff? Like you do realize your days are limited on this earth, right? And you do realize that they have put things into play to stress us out purposely, to hinder us. And we're fighting over a bill that we both know got to be paid in order for us to live, to exist. So why not just get it done so me and you can spend most of our days that we have on this earth, because nobody knows when they're going to check out, being happy. Right. I'm not going to be worried about this. But you also, because some of these men really feel like a woman with money that they should be taken care of, and then you got someone that feels like, and I'm like, I'm not going to take care of you. We're going to put in together. I don't expect you to take care of everything by yourself. Like, especially when we have 2 income, it's just not smart.
Okay, but it's not about you taking care of him. It's about you taking care of each other.
Right.
I think that's where people get it lost, is that you're too busy trying to make sure that he taking care of you.
Yes, like you trying to live breezy through this life. No, we all are going through this life as black human individuals. It's stressful for both parties. Right. So how can we both come together and make it as less stressful as possible so we can have fun throughout life and enjoy what white people or any other race have the luxury of enjoying without fighting with their damn spouse about? Like,
but why are y'all fighting over the rent? And why y'all fighting over? I mean, why are you fighting over a cell phone bill? At the end,
who finna do this?
I mean, I paid the rent last month, so it's your turn to pay it this month.
No, it gotta get
if it's all in one house and it's all one household, all it should matter about is it getting taken care of. Exactly. It's not about who spent what more money to prove anything. If y'all in it together, that shouldn't even come up as an issue. Now, me and my husband had this conversation about bank accounts. Do you share bank accounts or do you keep it separate? Now, personally, this is our situation. He probably be mad at me putting it out there. But honestly, we have our own separate bank accounts. But the money that's in the bank accounts, it's for the whole house. It's for our house.
Do you think it's necessary to just have one where? Because I've thought about that too. Like, if I had to, like, I want to keep my own bank account.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with him having his own.
Right.
But I feel like we should have one in the middle.
Yes, there's nothing wrong.
Into where we pay the bills out of.
Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that's a great idea. But at the end of the day, the only time that, it doesn't work for everybody. Like when you join bank accounts, that doesn't work for everybody, especially if you have a spouse or someone who doesn't have any control over their spending. Yeah. And they do a lot of frivolous spending, and they're always tapping into the account, and they then got to the point where now they're spending bill money.
Yeah.
So when somebody can't exercise any real control, then I wouldn't advise a joint account. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you having a joint account is not a healthy thing as long as you guys can both manage it and know what's going in and out at any given time.
And then,
because he knows my logins. He knows what I got in the bank. We don't have a bank account together, but he has access to all that information. He's a beneficiary on it. There's a POD on it, which means, payable upon death. So that means if anything's going on, all of it's going to him anyway. So it's not, we just never got hung up on them kind of things. And paying no bills shouldn't be one of them.
Right. It's like constant, or the debate of who eats first, the man or the woman or the children or the...
Oh,
yeah, why we all just can't sit down and damn eat? Like, we all finna come eat.
Now, I will say this, because, again, this is how we do it.
Okay.
I have been to family gatherings where I have seen adults fix their plates and do all of that. They don't fix their children's plates or nothing. Will sit down and just feed their face. And I have a problem with that because I'm like, these are your kids and nobody should be responsible for fixing your kids' plates. You need to make sure that your kids' plates are fixed.
But at home.
Right.
It's just y'all, the family.
Right. But if you at home,
this is the question: who eats first?
It ain't about who eat first.
Right.
You sit down as a family and eat. So I'm the mama.
They felt a lot of people was saying that because he is the provider and he brings the food, he's supposed to eat first and then y'all.
Oh
eat.
my gosh!
Like, why are we making big deals about stuff?
No.
Are we freaking serious? Like,
no. My husband cooks. We both cook. Okay, we're cookers.
Yeah.
So he cooked, and my husband bring me a plate all the time and say, "Here, babe," all the time. And vice versa.
We be making life stressful for no damn reason.
Oh man, I don't even understand that.
For no reason at all. Like, who eats first?
Where are you getting these questions from on these
I'm
forums?
telling you, this is what's going on in the world.
Oh my gosh.
They married. Don't come outside. Don't come outside.
Oh my gosh.
Don't come outside.
I mean, I'm kind of like shocked at some of the stuff I'm hearing. Like,
don't come outside.
Jesus.
Stay in the house. Because it is ugly out here.
I mean,
these are conversations that are being had by people that is like, y'all have no clue of what went on back in the day.
Wow.
Well, y'all hollering all this. I want the traditional woman to do this. She needs to cook and clean and I'm supposed to be the provider. Y'all can't even express y'allselves.
Wow.
So that's what I'm thinking about when I say, let's get this done.
Right.
We don't have to do all. I'm not looking for no man to solely take care of me.
Right.
I don't because from what from paying attention to a lot of stuff, even back then, the fact that that woman couldn't do anything, like you said, when men get money, it shows their character.
Right.
Like, you either still gonna be humble and still be caring enough about this person, or because you providing everything, you feel like you control me.
That's right.
So you can't do this, you can't do that. So you take that today in 2021.
Wow.
And with these, because the money ain't the price of living is expensive as hell now.
Yeah.
And y'all men ain't high value men. It's 10% high value men that are rich.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of y'all are just middle class, and most barely making it. Don't even own a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm supposed to expect you to pay everything, and then on top of that, we're struggling with y'all expressing how you feel. Mm-hmm. Now y'all just now coming out talking and saying that you are stressed and you are this. I've took that into consideration already.
Absolutely.
I don't want you stressed out because you feel like you have to take care of all this, and if some life happens too much.
That's right.
What if something happens on your job and I'm just sitting over here, sitting damn duck, waiting on you to just and ain't no other coming in? I feel like it's smart to have a woman who is ambitious or have something that she can contribute as far as money wise. I don't feel like
men
it's that
actually
important.
love that though, when you got something going on and that you can come in and contribute something, because at the end of the day they just want to see you happy. If it's a real one, they want to see you happy and content, you know.
I'm like, make it make sense, please. I don't want my man stressed out.
Right.
Even if he do have the money to take care of me, I'm not going to fight you on it.
Right.
But just know, if something happen, I got us too. Like,
that's
we ain't going to drop to the bottom.
Right.
We might have to drop back on what we used to for a little while, but we're not going to drop all the way to the bottom and have to start all over.
Right. Now, I'll give you a certain instance. Like, okay, my husband, you know, he work a lot, so he drive around. He goes to all these places and stuff like that. So he put a lot of wear and tear on his car. Mm-hmm. And so I told him, it's like, it's time for you to get another car. And he's like, yeah, I know, but I don't want to do that because he just feel like if he spend too much, it's taken away from our house. So he didn't want to make the sacrifice to buy a car, even though we had it. So what I do, I gave him my car, and I bought another car and paid cash for it. Yeah. Just so he wouldn't stress. So we got 2 vehicles paid for. No nothing.
See? Dream work. Make the dream work.
You know, I'm just saying, whatever it's going to take to lessen the stress, you know, and if you're in the position to do that, you know what I'm saying, why not do that for Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with
Especially
you
if
doing
he
some
don't
swing.
mind, like, and it ain't no direct to his, because he understand what it is.
Well, here's the thing. He never does that much for himself. Everything is always about me and the kids.
See, I would
So
be
when
glad to.
So because it's like that, and I know, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'd be like, here, you take this car, got it all, put some new tires on it, got it all spruced up, had the car professionally cleaned.
Teammate. I need a
teammate. Do what you gotta do.
I just don't want to be stressed about.
Yeah.
Nothing I don't have to be stressed about.
Then don't create situations that will cause that.
Right.
Because a lot of people, that's what they tend to do. You making something out of nothing. That's what you're doing.
And it is crazy to me when it can all be so simple.
Why have strife when you can have peace? You got to be fighting and arguing and fussing and cussing at each other every day to showcase your love for somebody. Why gotta be all that? Why can't it just be like, baby, I love you and hope you having a blessed morning or blessed day and what's going on with you? Have a little lunch day. Go to his job, take him some little lunch or something. Go see him.
Come out your way.
Oh yeah.
Feel. And that's what I like. I like people to be happy.
Oh yeah.
And I'm more so the person. I would go out my way just to see you smile. But it's just like I'm not doing it for everybody
anymore. No, you just need to do it for the right one.
Right.
Because as vulnerable as you speak, there are a whole lot more men that are going through some of the same things, feeling like they just can't find the right woman or a good woman. They're out there.
Until we meet. Keep hope alive.
Yes, indeed.
Keep hope alive.
But he coming, girl. Mark my words. He coming.
I feel it. I just got to be patient, Lord.
He coming.
It's like the moment I get a little drop of affection, I be like, boy, is it you? But then they show me otherwise. I be like, no. Dang, now I got to stop thinking about you.
I think the moment you ain't focused on it, that's when it's going to happen.
I ain't been focused for a long time. What's not?
He's right.
I ain't been focused for a long time. Now I'm like, where you at? Sheesh. I just want some love and affection.
Yeah.
I got a lot of love to give.
Yeah, it just got to be given to the right person. That's all.
But then I be having these moments because it's like, it makes it even harder when you're a single mom.
Yeah.
Because it's like I really for sure have to be particular about who I bring around my son.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like it further puts me in a space of not
if
really
he
being
ain't
able
somebody you planning on marrying, you don't let him meet your kid at all.
Oh, I don't. My baby ain't seen nobody.
Yeah.
But it's just when I'm dating, like that's what I have in mind with me. Like I need to know about you. Right. That's why I just can't just jump and be like, oh, we can have sex and all this. I'm past that. I got a whole kid I got to think about now. It ain't just me. And even with putting up with mess or having the patience to put up with some man's mess to even like grow with them. Like I need you to come at least about 80 to 90% healed. Because I'm not starting at scratch fighting with you. Like I'm not, it's me out here with my son. It's gonna take away from me parenting my child because I'm too focused on trying to fix
parent you
and parent you. Like I'm not about to do it. It's not what we about to do. They gave Sierra so much grief.
Oh, forget with Russ?
Yes, they like it's a family of men out there who believe that she really don't deserve him.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes.
Why did they feel that way?
Because they said she for the streets.
Oh, wow.
Because she had a baby with Future. First of all, she's somebody else's baby mama. And they say she's a toss around.
Wow.
Because she was in relationships with different dudes throughout her life.
Right.
Like, y'all wouldn't even know who she dated if she wasn't a celebrity.
Right.
So how do you penalize somebody whose life is constantly on display?
Wow.
Am I just supposed to be single all my life?
Wow.
Like, she came in young.
Wow.
So she had her boyfriend, Bow Wow. Then moved from Bow Wow to, she grew up a little bit. I think she was dating, I think she dated 50 briefly.
Yeah, she dated 50. I think she dated a couple ball players, too. One of them New York ball players back in the day. But, you know.
But she ain't had no kids. She learning this. I mean, you gotta get some on-the-job training, like, to learn. You don't just know about relationships and what you want until you get out there and experience and learn about what you don't want.
So she would be considered, you know, a hoe for being with all these different men. Yes. But men are with all these different women. No. And what are they considered?
Place. The man. That dude. And I'm like, if she for the streets, then what does that make Future? Ain't he the streets?
He's the epitome of that, I thought. As many baby mamas as he got.
Right, but they not talking about that. I really feel like that girl doesn't deserve to be with a man like that. But y'all, you also have a group of men telling women that they need to heal, and it's the men that they choose, and this is that and the third. But y'all think y'all mad because y'all theories are being proven wrong about high value men not wanting women with kids. I mean, Sierra a high value woman herself. Is what she bringing to the table? I mean, she got her own bag.
She does.
She has her own career. Like, but why don't you feel like this black woman is deserving of that? That's my part.
Again, doing all this talking about what somebody should have and what they shouldn't have. Where your somebody at? I noticed that always
the fact that they keep on talking about. Taking care of Future's son, or he doing it on purpose. Like, why would you want anybody to be? So this man is supposed to marry this woman and neglect her child. The same child that's yours that you neglect too. So I'm lost.
You should be happy that somebody else is willing to step up and be.
Especially with all the kids you got out here. You can't spread yourself across the board for them all. Be happy. I would be more than cooperative. What you need, man? Thank you for being there for my kid, because I can't be there. I'm on the road.
Right.
Like, thank you for, like, but it ain't that. It's you get grief. Oh, he a simp. Oh, he this, he that. Like, that man should be praised.
Right. He should.
For for being selfless. For understanding that that's just a child.
Right.
I'm going to still love him. I'm not going to treat him or make him feel any different from my biological kids that I have with his mother. It's still their siblings.
Wow.
Nobody said anything when Sierra was about to marry him with his 18,000 kids and 18,000 baby mamas. Why isn't that same energy kept?
Wow. They just got to continue just to do them.
So that woman went and got herself together. She healed. She knew what she wanted, what she didn't want it. She let God guide her path. And that's what she got.
That's what she got.
Yeah, I'm trying to get up on that. I'm trying to get up on that too. Yeah, a little bit of that.
Yes, indeed.
It seems like everything in the world is so backwards.
The times we live in. But the best thing that you can do is just focus on you. If you pay attention to everything else, you'll be overwhelmed. You know? Focus on you and the things God has for you. The things you're believing Him for. The things that you know that you're waiting on Him for. You know, because if you're looking at everything else that's going on out here, you're going to be discouraged every time.
I apply that to everything, even my business. You be like, you know, such and such. I don't know nobody. I don't be paying attention.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how I can get to a point where I just got money generating and I ain't stressed.
Okay.
And my goals.
How do you feel about hairstylists who do one celebrity hair and then they call themselves a revered celebrity hairstylist because they did one celebrity's head? How do you feel about that?
I definitely feel like,
you feel some kind of way about
I've
that?
done a few celebrities and I still don't call myself a celebrity hairstylist.
Yeah.
To me, is in the day I sign a contract to work with a celebrity where I'm on contract and I'm getting a salary for the year, and I'm only just doing this because I got some downtime because they ain't got nothing going on where I got to fly out and go do their hair. That's when I call myself a celebrity hairstylist. But just when you just called in or they coming into town to get they post on Instagram, hey, who can do my hair, and all your friends tag and you just go curl their hair for the night. You ain't really did no full wash, shampoo, track under the dryer. You ain't did none of that. All you did was curl for the day. And now I have a problem with it. I do. Because you ain't a celebrity hairstylist. You style the celebrity hair, but you're not because people be like, Mika, they look at me like that. And I get a certain treatment too because people know that I have touched certain celebrities. And I don't talk about it a lot because I don't like the treatment. Like, I don't.
Because some people use it as a way to be like overly priced. Like, charge all this extra because you style such and such. Well, what's such and such got to do with my head? And
you ain't even get paid for such and such. So then you finna go in here and tax all your clients who gonna come and keep you, and you, this celebrity who making buku bread, you ain't even charge them because they don't like to pay.
Oh, wow.
They feel like because they are who they are, that is enough.
Wow.
You're going to get a shout out if they do that.
Oh, wow.
That's what's not being talked about.
Wow. There's a lot of that going on. Y'all.
That's what's not being talked about. Can y'all see? Are y'all tapped in? Because ain't no more comments rolling. Are y'all just watching and quiet, or is my phone jacked up? But yeah, I do have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be who you want to be, I guess. But that's them. For me, I don't.
Yeah.
The day I signed the contract, that is the day I would call myself a celebrity hairstylist. I am in demand.
Yes, indeed. Oh, somebody said they just watching.
Huh?
Somebody said they just watching.
Oh, okay. Oh! Okay. Want me to be great. We done talked y'all earl. Is that what happened? We done talked y'all earl. Hairstyles and conversations.
Yes, indeed. That's kind of cute to call it hairstyles and conversation.
I try to figure it out and how I want it to go. So I want to talk about booking and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, what are some of your experiences with hairstylists?
Oh,
what don't
Jesus.
you like? What's y'all experiences with hairstylists? Let's talk. Let's chat. Now we done talked about everything else. Now we can get to the nitty gritty.
I think
my
experiences have not been great.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's why I went all natural. Because I got tired of hairstylists saying they know what they're doing and they don't. And I experienced.
Were they licensed?
Yes, they had a license in the whole nine. I went into one lady. This lady was in Plano. I won't state her business, but I had a gala to go to, right? And so she's like, yes, I can do your hair and all of this. And I was like, okay. And she was like, all you need to do is just bring me a picture of what you want, right? And so I didn't want, at the time, this was like in the summertime, so I didn't want like a bunch of hair and making me hot and sweat and just this, this is Texas, so it's hot.
Okay.
And so I brought her a picture of, my hair just being curled and kind of tapered at the back. Just something simple, short. Real chic. Yeah, because at the time it was short. And so she was like, yeah, I can do it. Book my appointment. I go in to see her or whatever. I sit down. I show her the picture. And she was like, yeah, no problem. She permed my hair, right? And so when you do a taper is like curls and then you know. Why did she cut me down to a 0 and slap balded me all the way from up here by my ear all the way back? And I had a gala to go to. And she slapped, when I say slap bald, smooth. Like you could touch it like a baby booty.
What did you, I know that 0.
It was 0. Slap balded me from my ear to the top of my ear all the way down. And then,
so what did you end up doing?
Girl, first of all, I cried because she slap balded me all the way in the back. And then when you put the perm in, she let the perm in too long, so I ended up having them like the big scab sores. And she ended up having to pull my hair. Partially where the spots. Okay, when I tell you it was bad, it was bad.
Oh my God.
It was real bad, and I cried because I had this gala to go to and attend and all of this, and I didn't know what I was gonna end up doing. So what I did was I ended up going to the hair store because I had to do something quick and just buy me like a wig, and I had to wear this wig to this gala, and just make the best of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my experience, and then I asked her and I said, I thought you said you knew what you were doing. And she's like, well, I gave you what you wanted.
Hey, are you still getting him today? Well, are you still picking up Levi? Okay. Okay, I just had to make sure right quick.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going to go get his chat.
Yeah, make sure. Have no baby out there waiting. Well, he's like, I gave you what you wanted. And that was the worst part.
What? Oh, she had an attitude?
Oh, yeah. And then on top of that, she's like, oh, I still want my $100 after all of that. And
girl, you just balding me up.
Yeah,
that's not a fade. A fade you still can see.
Oh, man, that's just one instance. I had another stylist that I went to that was in Carrollton, and I prepaid her, and she was like, I could do your hair, and she had did a consultation with me, and she was like, yeah, your hair would be better suited if you got micro links. And I'm like, micro links? I didn't know what micro links was, the little...
Yeah, the little links.
And so I was like, well, is that going to look right? Because I want my hair to be full, or whatever. And I was telling her that I wanted more of a sew-in, right? And she was like, no, you need to get micro links. So me, not being a hair stylist and expert, I went along with it. She put these micro links in my hair, and I dang it went bald. Because the micro links were metal that she put in. They're like metal clamps.
Silicone.
Yeah, they were like metal clamps. So what was happening, anytime I put my hair up or anytime I did anything, it would snag my hair out. So I ended up having to take plier cutters with a sharp tip and cut these links out of my hair, and then half my hair was gone. And she charged me $600 for these micro links. Yeah.
That you didn't ask for.
Well, not originally. No, I'm going by what she tells me. I mean, you're the, you're the expert, and you're supposed to tell me what my options are. And you're telling me that, oh, this is going to be the best for your hair and all of this. But what it was just a money bag ploy. It was just like,
it's a bunch of that going on.
I'm going to tell you this so you can spend this kind of money with me. But she could have did the sew in, but she's trying to sell me on these micro links and silly me at the time taking the bait like, this is what I need to get and trusting her with it, and it didn't end up but being a disaster for me in the end. So I haven't had, too many. I've had some decent experiences. I had went in to another one in Dallas, and you know, she was like, "Oh, I can do your Quickweave, boo 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 boo," and I was like, "Okay," and I was like, "Well, what kind of hair?" And she was like, "Well, you can buy any kind of hair, you know." And I was like, "Okay," so I went and bought some hair, and then when I got there, now mind you, I'm a first time client, right? I'm not used to going to her, so when I got there, you know, she, wrapped me up and all of that. She didn't use no cap or nothing, slack or glue. And oh Lord. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But
is it bringing back memories?
Oh man. Oh Lord, it was terrible. It was terrible. Anyway, she was, doing it or whatever, and then she, was putting the hair in, and then she was like, "I can't work with this. I can't. What kind of hair is this?"
Well, you told me.
Didn't I tell you to get this hair? I said, "No, I asked you what kind of hair you want me to get." She's like, "I know I told you what kind of hair you need to get." So she put it all up on me like.
You just did what you wanted to do.
Yeah. And then she had all this attitude with me, and I'm like, okay, I'm the customer. Then I'm a newbie at that. I'm asking you questions. Now you're telling me that it's something else, and then you got all this attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at fault. And then there was another customer in there, and why this lady start talking about my head in front of this other customer, like, my head is so difficult, and you know, um, she had made this comment like, when you wrap the trap from here to here, she was like, "You just got a big old wide head," and it was just all this.
Oh my God!
Yeah, like it was like something serious, and I was like, "I'm about to fight this lady."
Okay. Is this what's going on?
Yeah, like it was a real deal. I'm like, Lord. Help me keep it together, because I'm about to go.
What's going on out here?
Oh, it was so disrespectful. And, I was like, wow. Like, wow. And she wouldn't even curl my hair. She didn't even curl it.
Jesus.
Talking about she couldn't curl it and all this. And I was like, wow. And then on top of that, I'm getting ready to go because I was so mad and infuriated. Then she gonna have the nerve to be like, "Well, my customers tip." I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay.
You done showed your behind, and then you gonna sit up here and have the nerve and want some tip, like, girl.
Go have several seats.
Oh man. Well, those are some of my experiences. So,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm so sorry. We'll get into this business etiquette.
I need more of that.
Because a lot of them, like, a lot of these beauty schools, they ain't teaching really nothing. I'm so grateful for the one I went to. Because we had to, like, when we got out onto the floor, it was operated like a real salon.
Yeah.
And it was the school that I went to was a predominantly white beauty school.
Oh, wow.
So, of course, in their shops, that's how it's ran. And so I'm coming from that into now the black salon.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. So I got to switch up everything.
Oh, man.
Everything. It's been a whole thing about why, like, blacks, like, when you booking, like, if you notice on my booking site, it's like a whole novel of stuff out of the road on there. And then, like, people are, like, now complaining about that. Like, hairstylists be like, don't do this, don't come this, don't be, you late, you this, da, 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 like, and I know why I have it in place. But I've written and read some of the other stuff that, like, if they screenshot it, it's just ridiculous. Like, you're not even being fair. Like, I feel like have the same rules that you have for your clients for yourself.
Right.
Even though half the time I don't take it, I don't, because I'm, like, let's say, like, the time thing or whatever. Like, I grant my clients a 10-minute grace period. And then within that, after 10 minutes, you start to get charged. And then after 15 minutes, the appointment's just canceled. But, and, like, they teach you, like, that same grace period is to be extended to me also. So if your appointment is at 10, they technically say you had a grace period too of like being 10 minutes behind. I don't do it because I believe in being on time.
Right.
But if I ever am, I have, which has been probably, I can count on one time in my whole career where I've just been late or something. I make sure, like, I accommodate my clients. Right. Like, either I'm taking some off or I'll just decide your whole appointment free. Right. Because it was on me. Right. But I'm usually where I'm at, where I'm supposed to be, because I ain't giving nothing for free. I don't want to get no money. Right. But I try to make sure that I'm on time. I apply them same rules to myself. Right. And then I just think, like, if I was going to the beauty shop, how I want to be treated. Do I want to be there all day? Do I? And no, I got a life. Right. Just like they got a life. So that's when all this booking stuff started happening for me. And then it's like everybody started kind of gravitating towards the booking system and no longer like taking appointments like manually or whatever the case may be. But it's like now on the client side, it's like they losing the fact that it's still a hair salon. Like even if I do say, hey, I mean, and me as a stylist, I'm still gonna allot off some time just in case if I run over, because I don't know what's gonna rock through my door. Like, we got thick hair. It may be somebody with alopecia. It may be somebody with hair down to their butt. It may be, I don't know what I'm getting, so I have to at least add enough time just for the surprises. But sometimes that still ain't enough time, and you may end up going over just a little. It's still the hair salon. You got girls who are rude. I done had girls come walk right in the shop, like, and I was still on the client, but finishing up like I am now. Right. And they don't walk right up to me. How long you got on her head?
Oh,
Excuse me?
Oh, wow.
Excuse me.
Wow.
Like, it's still the beauty salon, sweetie. And go have a seat.
Wow.
Now, I can see if it was like an hour or two over or something, then you well within your right to feel some type of way, because you did book an appointment. But you're not going to walk up on my client in my chair while I'm working and check me, boo.
Wow.
YouTube talked about that too.
Wow.
Because it needs to be discussed all the way around. Customer etiquette and client etiquette. It don't cost nothing to be considerate. I left, took a nap, and ate. I come back, y'all still. Girl, we ain't left yet. We almost there. We've been really running our mouths. And what you eat? Look, I'm hungry. Did you cook? Thank you. So she took a whole nap. I bet, man. We've been on this thing for a good hour or two. dryer time and all of the other extra good stuff. I ate right. They can't ever go wrong with them. Okay, baby. Let's dock them noodles up with some hot sauce. Now my stomach growling. I instantly got hungry. I think it'll be very beneficial because I'm a licensed instructor too.
Oh, wow. You'll start teaching some classes?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Like really get into it heavy.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the finished look. Okay, girl, because you're just in time. You're welcome. Okay. This thing keep on falling off of her. I did. Can a quick wave be considered a protect? Yes, absolutely. Depending on how it's put in. I've had a lot of her clients edges grow back from Quickweave. They whole natural hair grow back from Quickweave. Like,
Oh.
You still don't see it. That's what I'm saying. You still don't see it though. That's what I'm saying. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Gosh, what they got going on?
Because my friend thick. Ain't no way around it. When you got body, you got body. Girl, what you got on? You put on some sweats, you still gonna see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's who can do some hair too, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She's so bummed with the shortcuts. Girl, I'm gonna have to take a class. Even though I can cut, I be winging them shortcuts. I don't even know.
Good.
I make it look good. Don't ask me what I did.
Oh, no.
I mean, I did a 45 over here, a 90 over here. Bob, I can break that down easy.
Yeah, I seen one you did. You did a watermelon one.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another one. I think it was like an 18-inch bob or something. It looked like, I think you called it Phoenix or something like that.
I be trying to come up with some names. Ooh, my stomach growling, girl. You should have gave me some of them noodles. I get a cup of ramen. A little food man they come today.
You should do that round.
So this dude named young black dude too, handsome. Chef. Bringing food up here. Named Montavian. be like, yes. I didn't get to eat the last one. He's been trying to get me to try his Cajun pasta.
Oh, wow.
And I ended up giving it to my homegirl because she had ate all day. And I had just ate some Chick-fil-A. I didn't know he was coming. And I just bought it for later. So I ended up giving it to her. But I took a bite. And I was like, girl, you be lucky I love you. Because, ooh. Baby. When I tell you, I should have killed that.
Yes, indeed.
Dude, I don't you. My little 20-something people been hanging in there. They're going to play this back. It's going to be a long one. Just get into the conversation.
Yeah, buddy. Somebody from Barbados.
Barbados?
Looks like something from Barbados. What are they talking about, the color?
I'm Brazil.
Oh, you talking about name for it?
Locked on from Barbados. Hey. You doing any more giveaways soon? I really enjoy the conversation. Sure, I didn't even get to do my first little giveaway. And when I hit 100,000 subscribers. And YouTube need to give me my buttons.
They ain't give you a plaque or nothing yet?
Nah. It's a conspiracy. Give me my button. What my shoe coming off now? I've been trying this new deodorant. It's natural deodorant.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm liking it.
Uh-oh.
It wore off too fast. And then it leaves like this little sour, like.
You try salt stick?
Huh?
The salt stick?
What's that?
Salt stick you can get from, I think it's Whole Foods at the Central Market. And it's all it is. It's a salt stick. And it's like a little white salt stick. It goes on clear. And you can't smell nothing. It don't leave no pasty, nothing, and none of that going on.
And it's just called salt stick?
Yeah, it's called a salt stick. I gotta find out what the name of it is. It's like an Asian salt stick. But it just kills the bacteria under your arms. So your arms aren't smelling from the bacteria buildup. Yeah, my kids use it. I got teenagers, so I had to find something.
Because I'm sure trying to get away from this aluminum that's off in it.
Yeah.
They, one of my clients had breast cancer.
Oh, no.
And she was telling me to stay away from it.
Yeah.
And I had noticed that I had got like a little lump under my arm, on my breast.
Right.
And I wouldn't have checked it out. But that was like, it was just like a dried up look. And then I went down now and I stopped using that stuff.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of monitoring it, but I just like, I'm trying to find the happy medium.
Yeah.
Hubby got anything special for you?
Well, you know, we might have something going on this weekend. You know, Mama called me and said she wanted to see the grandkids, so we don't get too much. We don't see her too much time, so we might go out to dinner and you know spend some time. You know, spend a little time.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Now I done got my hair done. He gonna be like, ah, yeah, let me take the wife out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come here, girl. Look at how you looking. Oh, I am hungry. What to eat?
You gonna be able to get a break after this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Gonna go pick him up.
Okay.
A little break.
Hey, how you feel about school almost being out?
Oh,
You glad?
I can't wait. I wish it was tomorrow. I'm so over it.
He ain't got but a couple weeks left, I think, right?
I think he don't get out until the 18th of June.
Oh, okay. He went in later and started school last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, that's too far. It's too far. I feel like they ain't learning nothing. These teachers frustrated.
Yes, they are.
These kids frustrated. Everybody frustrated. Y'all just need to start over again and figure it out. And the kids go back into these schools.
Amazing.
My favorite part.
Yes, indeed.
Baby, y'all some troopers. If you still on this thing from when it started, y'all should have took y'all a nap like that was 8 came back.
You know, it's a process now.
Okay.
They want to see the end result.
Y'all told me to come back over. This ain't like the regular little video where I be chopping it down and editing.
Okay.
This is a full-blown process. I have some wine and cheese in this.
Got me looking like a new woman. Okay. All right now.
Is that bang okay?
Yeah, that's good. Gotta show them the little bang flow.
Okay. It ain't too long for you.
Alright.
And who is that? Your colors popping over here.
Yes, indeed. Got that color blend on point.
Ooh, blue. It's the latest for me. I'm trying to keep them a little longer. The teenage shout.
Oh yeah.
Run away, love.
Now, if they seen what it was from the beginning, they'll know this is a true miracle.
Transformation.
Yes, indeedy.
Tuning in live.
All right now. All right, y'all.
Blue, flippity, blue.
So you gotta get down the little angle.
Get your legs on video camera. Thank you. Is it Zamoria?
Zamoria? Who's that?
Her name.
Oh.
The one who had them noodles came back. Took a whole nap. Yes, man. Okay. Yes, come book and get your conversation up. I'm gonna have me some wine the next time.
Okay.
We really gonna get loose up in here now. Oh my God, these legs are popping
Pretty.
So when you wrap it, just wrap the way your bangs is.
Okay.
And
Oh, I got a bonnet.
yeah, banana. Just use that. Should be good.
Now, I need to come in for a touch up, or
Oh, you can, or we just touch up your part.
Okay.
You got some hair left over there. Because eventually the part will spread apart.
Okay.
So you can just come get it closed back up.
Okay. Now see,
And then
you be booking too.
Well, for the
quick,
touch up,
so.
those should come open because everything goes according to time.
Okay.
So like normally anything like everything that's 3 hours or more goes quick.
Okay.
So it's usually stuff available for like a satin wrap if I'm just like straightening or flat ironing somebody's hair because like, ain't nobody really booking it.
Okay.
And it's under 2 hours, so it'd be like a little time where the system can slide it in.
Oh, okay.
And even if you get a touch up like this, like 30 minutes, so 30 minutes will pop up easy. You probably see the whole schedule open.
Oh wow.
If it's just 30 minutes.
Okay, cool.
So,
Cause I was like, ooh. Because I originally had tried to book in for Friday. That thing was gone. I'm like, dang,
yeah.
I'm trying to put my credit card. I'm not typing fast enough.
You got to make that little count so
I'm
you can
like,
just get in there and get out of there.
Oh, Lord. Jesus.
Okay.
Yay.
We're going to see y'all later. And this is one of my YouTubers, too. My YouTube subbies. She came and got her hair done. So I'm happy to see y'all when y'all come sit in my chair. So I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow, might, depending on if we got something to talk about. But I'm trying to upload these videos some more. I've just been doing a lot of stuff. But thank y'all for tuning in, those who did watch forever, and we will catch y'all later.